saturating. All right. A little early today, but I've got a couple guests coming in, so you'll get to see that mayhem and madness when they come in here. But we're about 16 minutes shy of the actual broadcast beginning, but thank you for tuning in. My name is Gareth Stearns. I'm the host of Fort Walton Beach, What We're Doing. It's a radio show and podcast that we do live daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time if you're viewing from outside our regular viewing area. We're the home of local news, community engagement, in-studio interviews with local movers and shakers. We like to squeeze in sports and local history whenever I can do it. We're going to be doing a little bit of everything today. We're going to be kicking off our show at the 3 o'clock hour with my co-host. She should be arriving very shortly, Miss Whitney Cramer. She joins me every Tuesday as co-host. Also kicking things off, we're going to just start our Miracle Strip Body Shop afternoon interview segment of the day with Mr. RJ Murdock of Emerald Coast TV. If you've ever been to a big event around the area, or even just a First Friday coffee at the Greater Fort Walton Beach Chamber of Commerce, he's usually the person capturing everything via video. He's got a studio downtown. We're actually looking at doing a little bit of a partnership and broadcasting this show from his studio downtown. He's got a really cool setup there, 4 different ways that he can configure his studio with green screen. Anyway, we'll talk about all that with him. Kicking off our Miracle Strip Body Shop afternoon interview segment of the day at 3 o'clock. He'll be with us from 3 to 3:30. You can give us a call, 850-374-3468. We are a live radio show and podcast. Feel free to participate. As soon as RJ leaves, we're going to usher in our next guest right at 3:30. We're going to have Ms. Lasheeda Perry, the queen of flavor herself, in studio. She is a local business owner, and she is also a contestant currently on the Food Network's Ultimate Baking Championship, which is airing right now. It premiered a couple weeks ago, or it might have been last month. Either way, we're going to catch up with her and all the exciting things that she's got going and the way that she's repping Fort Walton Beach on a national scale. In the 4 o'clock hour, we're going to be joined via phone by Mr. Irish Bill of IB Sports to catch up on March Madness, which we didn't touch on at all on yesterday's show, as well as some breaking local sports news that you're going to want to pay attention to as well. All that and more on Fort Walton Beach, What We're Doing. Give us a call, 850-374-3468. If you are a local business and you're interested in appearing on the show, reach out to me. My personal cell phone number is 850-374-2110, or you can reach me on Facebook. It's Gareth Stearns, GarethStearns. Put all that in the description of the video itself. If you wouldn't mind liking, sharing, commenting, but most importantly right now, subscribing to my YouTube channel, that would help me out precipitously. Because once I get to 1,000 subscribers, it unlocks a whole bunch of doors that aren't accessible to me currently, and it'll make this broadcast experience much more palatable for the viewer as well. So do me a favor, tell your friends, subscribe to the channel. If you're at work, tune to FM 94.3 or to this YouTube station or to our website, 943ftw.com, which is where we also stream the show online every single day. I'm going to go ahead and get ready over there and introduce my co-hosts and guests as they start trickling in. But go ahead and prep yourselves for another rip-roaring episode of Fort Walton Beach, What We're Doing. She arrives. Come on in. I just finished my little intro, so.
Oh, I'm late.
Yeah. No, you're not. No, I'm early.
Oh,
So,
nice.
because our next guest is also going to be arriving very shortly. And I wanted to get my intro out of the way so I could do my usual, hey, make out with the microphone, stay this sort of distance, and look at this, my co-host. You don't have to pay to be my co-host, by the way. Ms. Whitney,
you
by the way, welcome back. Welcome, and there's your tip right there.
Yeah,
right?
no, gosh, no. Seriously.
She went to Biloxi and cashed in my national championship winning ticket for Indiana Hoosiers winning the college football national championship. We'll catch up on all your weekend stuff this weekend. We're on YouTube this time. Would you mind actually checking the YouTube stream just to make sure that everything's coming through? And
I will.
yeah, it actually may be hard to find at first because that's one of the difficulties. Okay, so you might get a notification that Gareth Stearns is live or something. I don't know. I'm still learning the whole. I use YouTube every single day, but the streaming is
YouTube,
kind of new.
your Gareth Stearns YouTube.
Look at that.
Do you have internet here?
I do. Let me get the password for you.
That would be cool. Or I can use my hotspot, worst case.
No capitals. Tell everyone my Wi-Fi password.
Wait, which one?
Oh. It's probably Omni something or. Yeah, there you go. We don't have any sound just yet because it'll take a few minutes. We are live on YouTube right now. Make out with the microphone about this distance. You do this. You know what to do. Sometimes people get into story time and they start to veer away from the microphone. And I have to play with the levels and everything. And yeah, don't be a low talker like that. But for now, yeah, all the funny, inappropriate things that wouldn't normally be able to be aired terrestrially. Thank you for being part of my Miracle Strip Body Shop afternoon interview segment of the day, Mr. Murdock.
Oh, that's your sponsor.
Yeah, I got to pay the sponsors, my friend.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Thanks for coming in on such short notice.
Need some tall chairs, huh?
Do you need a? I'm more of a stander. I can get you a chair.
You want my chair?
I can get you another chair. Do you want a chair?
Yeah.
Okay, chair time. Come on.
You can also have mine if you want, Gareth.
Steve, 4 years old. I've never seen office chairs that go up that high. Are they custom chairs?
Look at that.
'Cause I've never seen office chairs that go up.
We're a radio station, man. We can make
It must
all
be a
sorts. You
radio
never
station
know.
thing,
The
right?
sky's the limit here. But yeah, so in a second I will plug into the commercials, which is another added bonus of going through my show. Is you're going to hear commercials from all the businesses that you drive past every single day. We are local. We own our localness.
Are you advertising what you told me?
What yes. There's no reason not
Thank
to.
you, though. Probably
Okay.
anyways.
You're awesome. Did you happen to, well, you know what, no spoilers. We're going to do it on the radio. But probably in the 4 o'clock hour, because we're going to be pretty action-packed in the first hour. We're going to be joined at 3:30 by the queen of flavor herself, Miss Lasheeda Perry,
Have you ever
RJ
met her?
Murdock. I've not. But she's actually a contestant on the Food Network's Ultimate Baking Championship right now. Look at
Yeah,
that.
but wait, it's already aired or what?
I believe the first episode aired a couple weeks ago.
So what is it live?
I should have done my homework and actually watched a couple episodes. Yeah, it airs live every week, and then it should. Look at that. And then it's very meta what we're doing here. And then I catch everything on Hulu and stuff. So a couple weeks after the fact. So we'll try to get the spoiler-free version of her experience there.
All right. Yeah. So I definitely have to be out of here by 3:30 or so.
Yeah, no problem.
4 o'clock appointment.
Not a problem. So I do weird hand movements. So if I do this, it's 3 minutes left, 2 minutes left. This means 30 seconds left. And those time cues are to music. That basically is 30 seconds of, oh, okay, we're about to go to break. So if you're in story time and you hear the music, don't cut off you have 30 seconds from hearing the music, and then we just kind of button up. Okay, well, we'll finish up that story as we go to break, because we got to pay off our sponsors, yada, yada, yada. You're listening to this, so that's basically, my time cues are to the 30-second music warning.
I'd like to my acceptance speech.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, you're usually behind the camera, so. Except when you were on
Not necessarily.
Except when you were on the Truman Show, you were in front of it. We'll get into that as well. We'll touch on that.
On the Truman Show?
He was on the Truman Show.
We're living in the Truman Show.
We sure are.
Are you kidding me?
It shouldn't be playing yet. It'll pop on in a
Unless you're
second.
right, left, if it was any difference.
The chord is the left one. The chord side is the left side.
I kind of figured.
And this will be your volume if you need to turn it up. When it does decide to pop on, which should be momentarily.
Too many stories to tell in one session.
I hate to hear that because I would love to know all of them.
So why is he separated
From who?
in that studio?
Oh.
Yes, in here and there.
I have no idea.
BO or
I have no idea.
is it just because of the room size?
I have no idea. That's a great question. Sorry.
You need a water or a Xanax or anything?
Why are you in there? Why are you not with us?
Because it's my show. I have to do the thing, and
this is just an extension.
And Brady's not available because Choctaw baseball is in the thick of a great season. They're in line to have a #1 seed in the regional playoffs. As a matter of fact, they have a game this Friday, which you're unavailable to cover. Remember when I asked you like a month and a half ago? At Blue Wahoo Stadium.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. He'll be broadcasting. And you said you had a wedding or something. I asked you like
This Friday?
the 27th. Is that Friday or Saturday?
I think it's Friday. If it's Saturday, yeah, I'm not available.
Yeah, why would there be a wedding on Friday? You had something Friday.
Well, I thought I'd be traveling.
No, okay. Well, either way, Brady's got a big Choctawhatchee baseball broadcast at Pensacola Blue Wahoo Stadium on Friday. It's been an excellent season. They're set up for the postseason pretty well. Why am I not hearing too much?
So if he's the host, you're considered the
Co-host. Yeah.
And he is also his own engineer.
What? Yes. Yes.
Producer.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I know none of these terms, but yeah, he does everything. I just
All right,
sit
you should
here
hear
and
stuff
talk.
now. I'm gonna go ahead and plug in. Plug it in. Plug it in. Plug it in. Plug it in. Can you?
Continuing to investigate an incident at Walton Middle School that occurred this morning before start of the school day. At 7:22 a.m., the Walton County Sheriff's Office responded to reports of a stabbing at Walton Middle School in Defuniak Springs. Walton County Sheriff's Office had a school resource deputy on campus, and additional patrol deputies responded, as well as officers from the Defuniak Springs Police Department. By 7:30 a.m., a suspect, a Walton Middle School student, was detained a block from the school. 2 students and 1 adult were transported with injuries. Due to the safety of both students and staff, all classes for the day have been canceled. This investigation is ongoing, and we will provide more information as it becomes available. With Omni Broadcasting News brought to you by McCaskill & Company, I'm Frankie Bennett.
Where you at? It's T-Paul from Where You At Seafood Market and Restaurant in Navarre. We're your one-stop shop for fresh seafood and your Cajun favorites like jambalaya, gumbo, etouffee, po' boys, and we specialize in seafood boils. We have grown into a local favorite and hangout for great food and good times. Think of us for your next birthday party, wedding, family reunion, or gathering. Where You At will cater to your needs and deliver flavor and quality that will have everyone raving. Check out the menu at whereyouatseafood.com and visit us on Highway 87 North in Navarre. Let the good times boil, baby. Aye!
Since 1952, Jimmy's Guns and Safes has kept the Panhandle protected. Located near downtown Fort Walton Beach, Jimmy's offers the widest in-stock selection of Liberty Safes in Northwest Florida. And these Liberty Safe models are built for real security, with prices starting at just $5.99. From closet-sized safes to ones that will fit inside a vault, Jimmy's has all the sizes and fire ratings to choose from. Come talk with our team and lock down your valuables today with a Liberty Safe from Jimmy's, located at 22 Eglin Parkway Southeast in Fort Walton Beach. Jimmy's Guns and Safes. Big selection, bigger peace of mind.
Welcome to Coastal Auto Express, your local family-owned auto repair shop committed to quality workmanship and exceptional customer care. We focus on honest communication, personalized service, and dependable results. From paint and bodywork to full mechanical repairs, our experienced team is dedicated to keeping your vehicle running safely and smoothly. Every repair is backed by a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty. We are honored to support our troops with a 15% military discount. Coastal Auto Express. Service you can trust.
The Medical Minute, presented by Coastal Vascular and Interventional.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jeff Risley, and I want to talk to you about something that could save your legs and maybe your life. Vascular disease. It often hides in plain sight. Leg pain when you're walking, numbness, slow healing wounds, cold feet. These aren't just signs of aging, they're warning signs. Healthy arteries mean healthy circulation. Circulation affects your heart, your brain, your mobility. The good news is many vascular problems are treatable when they're caught early. At my practice, we use advanced, minimally invasive options to restore blood flow and get you back to living fully. If something doesn't feel right, don't ignore it. Call us today and take the first step towards better vascular health.
The board-certified doctors at Coastal Vascular and Interventional Radiology provide world-class medical and aesthetic care. They're experts in vascular care and minimally invasive treatments, rated the best in the Florida Panhandle. Learn more online, coastalvi.com.
If you get a call saying there's a warrant for your arrest and you need to pay, stop right there. It's a scam. I'm Okaloosa County Sheriff Eric Aden. No real law enforcement or government agency will ever call you out of the blue about a warrant and demand payment to avoid or resolve an arrest. They'll also never ask you for gift cards, cryptocurrency, or wire transfers to pay fines or fees. Always use extreme caution with calls, emails, or messages that pressure you to act immediately. Don't fall for this common scam. Protect yourself and your finances.
Let me tell you about my hometown. I want the world to know about the sights to see and things to do on the Gulf of Mexico. The home of Eglin Air Force Base, the largest in the world. Test flights, rocket sites, famous proving ground. Fort Walton, that's my hometown. See Billy Bowlegs and pirate ships, they plunder and they loot. There's big blue marlin and fighting sails, plus water sports to suit. The whitest sands in all the land in the playground town are found. From north, south, east, west, all are pleasure bound. Fort Walton, that's my hometown. There's Wayside Pier, the living sea, and surfing at its best. It's the place that's known as the Miracle Strip, leading all the rest. WMUE, big professional sound. Fort Walton, that's my hometown. Fort Walton,
That's my hometown. And welcome to Fort Walton Beach, What We're Doing, your daily dose of local news, community engagement, and in-studio interviews with local movers and shakers. A little bit of local sports, national sports, and local history whenever I can squeeze it in. You're listening to Gareth Stearns, my co-host for the day, Whitney Brooks Cramer, and we're going to go ahead and kick off our Miracle Strip Body Shop afternoon interview segment of the day with a good old friend of mine, a mover and shaker himself. Mr. RJ Murdock of Emerald Coast TV is in studio with us. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't remember which movie that was.
No,
it was like Bruce Willis in the Fifth Element, and all of a sudden he's like, Chris Rock was not Chris Rock, but he was handing the microphone. What do you say about this? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know who you're talking about. Chris, the guy that was in the movie with Jackie Chan. He did the whole trilogy. Chris, the other Chris. Anyway, welcome, RJ Murdock. And speaking of movies, before we get into what you do around town, you were in a movie that was filmed locally about almost 30 years ago now.
Yeah, that I just recently watched, too.
Did you really?
And
I'm so glad because you were very sheltered in that regard.
That's right.
You just didn't watch much moving pictures growing up. We're talking about The Truman Show, which of course was filmed at Seaside largely back in, 96? 97? All right.
96 came out in 90. I think they did the screening here at the Santa Rosa Theater in 97, late 97.
Wow. So you were one of several people that got the opportunity to have a little bit of screen time. You actually had a speaking part in it. You weren't just an extra in the background. You actually got up and you had screen time with Jim Carrey himself, did you not?
So cool.
Yes, I did. I mean, I pretty much took as much leave as I could while I was working my Air Force job, and just was there every day to be an extra, just to be on set, because it was kind of like I'm an actor, I always wanted to do something like that, and a lot of people had that kind of, stars in their eyes type of thing. And it was interesting that you mentioned I got a speaking role, only because there's a couple of times I'm in the background. I'm an electrician in one scene, a runner that runs into Jim Carrey in the other scene.
That's so cool.
In a background behind the main stars, as they're arm in arm walking through the streets trying to see if they can.
Remember that scene?
And I'm right behind them, off to the side. I've got like little pictures with a little arrow pointing towards where my head was or my ear was showing or something like that. But this, even though it looks like there's beach scenes and everybody's sunny, this was done in the middle of winter. This is November to January time frame.
Wow.
And I do remember It was one very cold morning. They had over in Seaside, where the school is right now, they had a big tent, an extras tent that they could hold up to 250 extras. And we literally sometimes had 250 extras to fill up the town, so that would have that feel like it was populated. And it was really cold. We were at 5 a.m. in the morning, the old dark 30 as they like to call it. and I just happened to, if you knew me from in the past, I used to work in the boardwalks of Seaside Heights in New Jersey, so I was a barker, so I had no problem speaking out loud in front of people. Somebody had lost their glove, or there was a scarf or something like that. And I was just thinking, man, they're going to freeze without having that extra protection this morning because the sun wasn't out and it was still pretty cold. So I walked over to the table where all the production assistants were and the casting director was and all that. And I said, can I borrow this? And I grabbed a megaphone and then I made my own announcement. Hey, you guys, somebody's missing the things. I know it's cold, so, I'm going to leave it over here at the table if you want. Boom. Well, somehow they considered me like, wow, he acted just like a production assistant. And we have a role for a production assistant. So they actually had me come over to the office later that day, and I ended up signing my Taft Grant. It was like a SAG waiver, which actually made me eligible for SAG. If I do more than 2 movies, then I have to actually register with SAG, but it made me SAG eligible. And I got that role just because I was being myself.
Wow. Look at you
That's
taking
so
the
cool.
initiative.
Yeah.
Do you remember the scene? Can you describe the scene that you were in? And 'cause she
It's
just watched it recently.
It's towards the very end when Truman has escaped for the most part. Nobody knows where he's at, and they're searching for him. And then all of a sudden, Christoph was saying, "Nobody's checking the sea. Nobody's checking the water."
Oh yeah. 'Cause
So send somebody down to the boat. So I'm the guy who basically was running up to the ramp to the boat, saying, "Launch that boat! Launch that boat!" And then if you
Very cool.
notice that the captain of the boat was also the bus driver from an earlier scene, and he doesn't know anything about driving with shift gears or not that. So he's like grinding the gears of this boat, and he's like, and then my line was, bottom line is they're actors. He can't drive the boat, so they can never get the boat out there.
Yeah, what a brilliant movie. It foresaw basically the world that we're living in now. We're all I'm live streaming on YouTube right now,
Yeah.
making my own little micro Truman Show experience.
we're definitely
and-
living in the Truman Show.
Absolutely.
I know. I feel that way because like UFOs fall from all these things, and like meteors and all these things fall, and we're like, we look up just like him when that light falls, and we're like, what is that? Where'd that come from?
Yeah, we
And I'm
don't know.
like,
We could have this Christoph in the sky. I actually met you, RJ, originally via acting itself. I don't know if you recall me being in the show with you, but the very first show that was ever performed at the Maddie Kelly Art Center in Niceville was Man of La Mancha.
Man of La Mancha,
back
yep.
in 1997. I think you were a Padre.
I was the cardinal.
Okay, so kind of the same thing, depending on your. Okay, and I was a muleteer. I was one of the prisoners that tried to woo Dulcinea or something. I don't know.
It wasn't wooing. It was something worse than that.
I had to take a lot of stunts though, because I was like the skinny kid that was willing to, grab the metaphorical microphone to want to be seen and get the extra stuff. But so you've got a bit of an acting background, and did you still receive royalties from the Truman Show?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
For that little bit part.
So it's so interesting because they were so okay. Here's the story of Liz Kane get her little 15 seconds of fame here. She was casted. There's an opening scene when he drives into town, and you get the whole active downtown center going on, and I know you got like 2 minutes left. Quickly, she was the coffee lady at the corner that she was supposed to go ahead and give Truman your coffee. Here's your coffee, Truman. Every time he would drive up. Thing is, that scene kept waiting for a sunny day, and it took 2 weeks before we finally get it. So every day, since she was a feature, which is a $600 paycheck, she gets a trailer. She had the little napkin around her neck for her makeup so it wouldn't get on her costume, and so she got all of that. They cut the scene, so she got her paycheck all up front. Me, in my case, I'm still getting, I don't know, maybe anywhere from $20 to $40 every quarterly. So, you know, it's how many years ago was that? And that was 97 when that last was
That's
released, like
incredible.
20
Now-
years
That
ago.
is incredible.
You mentioned that you had multiple roles. Would you have gotten that same $40 with those other little background roles, or was it because of the speaking
Right.
role
No,
that
you have your
had?
background. Only when you're featured do you
A
actually get some
speaker
of
or
that.
something. Yeah.
That's so neat. And some other people that had some feature roles that were known locally with Mr. Ted Raymond, who used to write for the Northwest Florida Daily News.
Very cool.
He was the one carrying the trash can, the neighbor carrying the trash can that had the camera on it. He
Right.
was-
And speaking German to his dog.
Yep. I remember that as well. Were you in Bye Bye Birdie with me as well? Because I remember Mama from Bye Bye Birdie was kind of a big lady, kind of short statured. She was a local she was in the search scene as well. I think she was arm in arm with Fred Pitts because he was also in that scene.
Not with you, but I did Bye Bye Birdie in high school. I was Comrade Birdie. So.
You lucky dog.
Yeah.
I got stuck being Hugo Peabody,
You know,
a
the
wishy-washy,
thing is,
nerdy boyfriend.
You gotta be sincere, though.
Oh, you gotta be sincere. See, I could have done it.
You gotta feel it here. If you don't feel it here, then you won't be.
Hey, I can bust in a song on a wing.
I got
Karaoke King you're talking to
I
over
know.
here.
Yeah, I know.
You ought to come out sometime to karaoke.
Yeah,
as
it
long as
sounds
you
like-
Let
are.
me know when you're going out.
Well,
there,
it might
'cause
be it's right after this show, and they have it at NG's on the Bayou, and then tomorrow after tomorrow's show they have it at AJ's Oyster Shanty, which is my preferred. That's a Wednesday night with Brandon and Kayla. Is just awesome times, and we hope that you continue to stick around for all the awesome times that we have in store for you. We're going to stick around for one more segment with Mr. RJ Murdock of Emerald Coast TV. Maybe we actually talk a little bit about your studio downtown, your awesome studio, in the next segment. Thank you so much. 850-374-3468. Listen to Gareth Stearns and Whitney Brooks Cramer on Fort Walton Beach. What we're doing. Stick around. We got to pay a few bills.
Are you dealing with a little extra pudge around the hips? Have you had to go up a size in clothing? Weight gain is very common, but weight loss doesn't have to be the uphill marathon you think it is. Dr. Richard Churn and the team at the Hormone Restoration Center, they've got the tools, knowledge, and expertise to guide you back to that bathing suit you love most. Call Dr. Richard Churn and the Hormone Restoration Center in Miramar Beach, 850-837-1271. Visit richardchurnmd.com.
Magnolia Grill on Brook Street, downtown Fort Walton Beach, and Tom Rice, you've got a menu that has everything on it.
Sometimes, though, I think it's got too much. We're an Italian restaurant to those that are looking for Italian. We're a steak place. We have great prime rib, and we've always got wonderful seafood. So, we can't make up our mind either what kind of restaurant. We're just a good old American restaurant down at heart.
They please you from the time you enter until the time you leave. Magnolia Grill.
And Zoe, as you know, the Magnolia Grill works directly with many nonprofits to help them with their mission to assist local families in need. The Salvation Army and the thrift store is a perfect example. The Salvation Army thrift store accepts your donations and then offers them for sale to the public. And if you've not shopped there lately, it's being completely revitalized for a better shopping experience. Visit the Salvation Army thrift store on Mariester Cutoff, just off Jonquil. The Salvation Army, doing the most good.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
For the longest time, it was hard for me to even get out of the house, much less do a backside 180. That's when I made the call. With my doctor's help, I was diagnosed with anxiety. Now I'm finding better ways to cope. Sure, some days are better than others, but the whole thing about getting out of the house, that's not really an issue anymore. Mental health care works when you make the call.
See what it can do for you at mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
Is the festa, Tristan de Luna should have got here sooner. Fort Walton Beach, where the water's in easy reach. Billy Bowlegs and the 4th of July, watch them bathing beauties walking by, and the great love ferry across the way, where the turtles and the porpoises play. Next
Welcome back to Fort Walton Beach. What we're doing, that is a deep cut called it's by a grand band called the Sandfleas, and it's called Miracle Strip USA, and they were a local band that did the Panhandle circuit in the late 60s, early 70s. We'll talk a little bit about Destin and Gulfarium and all the things. You familiar with this one, RJ?
I can't say I have, but did you create that other one with the opening?
No, the other one, let me turn this off. So the other one was actually a song that played very prominently on the radio station back in the day, WNUE. It was an AM radio station, and it was written by M.D. Smith, and 3 different versions of that song were written for 3 different cities. There was one for Birmingham, I think one for Nashville, and all the lyrics were the same, but the lyrics were different, but the tune was the same. And it was just kind of heard as a jingle on WNUE for many years. It's one of those nostalgic earworms that people will hear and be like, oh, I remember that song. And if you've never heard it, you're like, why the hell is he using that song as his
I had never heard it before.
I'd actually like to do an updated version of that original theme song.
It's funny how easy it is to do.
Is it?
Yeah.
You know, you would know about this being Mr. Technical Guru,
we had
TV
a family
studio
reunion
guy.
Last summer.
A what reunion?
Family reunion.
Okay.
And I ended up using Suno AI and created a special song just for the reunion about meeting up at the family creek and how we used to spend the summers and enjoy each other and get together and forget about the world for a while and just hang out in the mountains of North Carolina.
Okay, I'm. You know what? AI is amazing.
Yeah.
I still have no idea how
The capacity of
the
it,
potential of
You'd
it.
be
Yes.
surprised on how good it sounds because I made it with some dulcimer sounds and I had it set up as a duet, so it sounds like what was Johnny Cash and, the female Carter.
June Carter.
June Carter. It sounded like them.
Well played. Of course, you grew up in the cuts, so you would know a little Johnny Cash.
But I was
believe.
like, wait, I don't know if that's what he's
No,
talking
no,
about. I was
no,
like,
no.
right.
Go with it.
I just saw the movie Walk the Line.
So let's talk about Emerald Coast TV. If you've ever been to an event around town, a Billy Bowlegs parade, a Christmas parade, RJ's usually the one behind the camera, putting all of the professional tweaks and turning all the knobs and pulling all the levers and making it look as professional as possible. And he's been doing it for many years. He's got a studio downtown. And I don't want to paraphrase or cut short anything, but why don't you just give an overview of what Emerald Coast TV is, what it does, and where we're going from here.
Okay.
It's a loaded question.
That was a lot of questions in there, but it started back in 2012. Actually, my first Emerald Coast TV live stream event was the 60th anniversary of Choctaw High Schools, and the Style Marchers came, and we did football. That was
I'm
my
very
first live
familiar with
stream
that
the
event. I
parade and
planned
all
much
that.
of it.
And so that kind of got me into the live stream because I was trying to upgrade all my gear and learn and then do things with software switching was unheard of at the time, especially on an HD video. So it's been a long learning curve, but I've really mastered, and I always tell people my niche in video production is actually live multicam video production. So, for events, for stage, I do a lot of stage works, ballet, symphonies, orchestras, productions, play productions.
First Friday coffees.
I used to do a lot of First Friday coffees. It's just that they were every First Friday coffee, and sometimes I wasn't there, so things got a little. Sometimes they'd be like, well, what are we going to do? So they figured it out on themselves. COVID did a lot to help people produce their own content. And
Figure it out.
It did. I actually appeared on one of your Good Morning Emerald Coast. Was that the one that you did with Chris Seaman back in 2020? I was renting boats for Gilligan's.
That's true. You zoomed in on us.
Yeah,
that was called What's Up Emerald Coast.
That's what it was. And we were talking about how Florida was the free state of Florida, and it was great how seeing people come from other states. And wait, you don't have to wear a mask here. Wait, we can actually
go on the beach and go to the grocery store, and
that was pretty cool. You've been doing this with professional knowledge, and you make your broadcasts. I mean, tell us a little bit about your studio.
I was in the right position when COVID hit because I was the only guy who was able to do a lot of live streaming stuff. And then nobody could get the gear, nothing was around. So the chamber utilized me to do their First Friday coffees via Zoom. And I have a video wall in my studio that's about 10 by 5, and it's basically 6 TVs, and the screens are the one video is split between all 6. We ended up using that as a virtual audience by having like 25 pages, 25 per page, and 3 pages of just Zoom participants for the first Friday coffee.
Wow.
So, and that was like in April. So we were able to get going and keep that alive. And it was good to kind of get everybody a chance to kind of sort of mingle with each other and all that.
You've got multiple different studio setups in there,
right, and
ways to do it.
So I did set up, in 2017, I set up that studio as a talk show studio with that video wall. The video wall was set up because coming from, had worked at Cox before as well, they had a large studio space of 40 by 60, and they, at 2017, they decided they were no longer doing any more studio stuff because it really wasn't paying well. They had to upgrade their equipment. They didn't want to do that. And then so Ted Corcoran from the Fort Walton Beach Chamber came to me and said, like, hey, we have all these talk shows we have on Channel 6. Is that something you think you might be able to do? And so I was like, I'll try. And I found a little 10 by 11 space in the Landmark Center in downtown Fort Walton Beach. I put up that video wall over there, and I literally had as much space. My guests were pretty much that far away, and I had my back to them saying, all right, and go live. And I had a 3-camera shoot going on in a little 11 by 10 space. But then I was able to move into a 20 by 13, and I've created now in that space since COVID a 4 set. Each wall has its own set for the most part. I've got the video wall still. I've got a panoramic green screen that I can do virtual news desks, which is what we did for What's Up Emerald Coast. And then I also have a little podcast, little table set up for 2 for right now. But we can always add more by adding a table in the center.
Very cool.
And then a box opening set, which basically is a nice, colorful brick wall. And like, okay, well, here's this new thing. Let's go ahead and open the box and check out the tech stuff. So it's part of my tech tips and tricks episodes that I started. I've kind of always end up doing other people's jobs in other locations. I do a lot of, like I said, multicam live stuff. And I had not been able to do much with the studio for the last year and a half, 2 years. So I was either at the point of like, okay, do I just go ahead and let it go and retire that part of my life? But I put so much love into that studio. I was like, I'm going to go out and see if there's anybody else who's interested in helping me produce content, local content. And then for some reason,
if you found anybody.
Some guy who has a radio show in the afternoon.
Me.
Was kind of interested.
Pick
So
me.
yeah, so starting in April, I'm gonna start training him on how to produce TV, or in this case,
The
video
show.
podcast.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen the little setup here. I literally use my iPhone 14 and plug it into our little board right here that's to your left. Do you see any limitations that would prevent this show from being broadcast in your studio, where we would obviously have more space, green screens, technology, editing technology, the ability to bring video guests in, that sort of thing? Could we turn the volume up to 11 metaphorically on this show? Take it to the next level?
11.2, actually.
Ooh. Oh, wow.
So yeah,
Even better.
there'd be no issue with that, more or less. It's just connectivity. We got internet connectivity there, so we could just, whatever we were audio-wise, convert it to.
And I want to stress to my employer who's probably listening, this does not affect the job. Like, I'm still an employee of Omni Broadcasting, and we're just talking about creating a better
He wants to do
space
remote work.
Well, I mean,
It's a remote.
This show actually can be taken on the road. If you are a business that would like to have this show broadcast from your business, particularly during a special event, I do the Choctaw football games, and I can take that equipment wherever and do the show wherever. So that's always been an option, but I mean, you have such a turnkey, ready-made studio that's set up to really highlight guests, like what we like to have on here. And I really think that it's the direction that I would like to go. So I definitely want to talk to you about all the different ideas that you have and ways that I can learn more about what it is that we do, because I still don't know how to do this.
Well, you're a lucky guy, because I'm giving back to the community in some ways and imparting all my knowledge before I start kind of bringing things back a little bit. So.
Yeah, you invited me last week to the National Junior College Basketball Championships, which was being held at Northwest Florida State College, and I was just unable to get over there. As soon as I get mentally exhausted after every show, RJ, and I was still fighting a little bit of a cold. In fact, listen to this still. Like it's still 3.5 weeks.
Sounds
I've been
like
trying
you have like a smoker's cough.
Well, I mean, it could. Okay, there's
You
full
sound like
disclosure.
George.
I do. I
George
vape
was a guy
little
in the
bit.
boardwalks
Not
of
smokers,
Seaside
maybe.
Heights who was always he smoked a lot, but he was always shouting all the time. So I ended up kind of like talking like that all the time. He was always like this. And then one day, I saw him in the middle of winter where there's not seasoning and something like that. And he goes, "Hey, how you doing, RJ?" I was like, "What the heck?"
Your
That's what it
real
sounded like.
voice.
It was real voice. So because he was always barking. You know, that's what they call the people who work the little games and these amusement park barkers.
Nice. I love etymology of words.
Yeah,
Big
so-
word play guy.
So you keep this radio show up, and you keep, get your rest, eat clean, and
Get your
and
vitamins, say your prayers.
Take the stress down a little bit.
Well, I don't know. Stress is
Stress
my
part-
favorite.
Stress is always the hardest part.
I still battle insomnia. I'm kind of upset that Dr. Jeff Risley had to cancel today
I
because I'm still
know.
battling that. And anyway,
He's trying to get us a free consultation on the radio.
yeah,
He uses it as his 30 minutes to talk to a
100%.
doctor.
Yeah, always asking for a friend, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
yeah. Okay.
Well, listen, RJ, I really appreciate you coming down and sharing a little bit about who you are and what you do. I'm really I'm looking forward to partnering with you in exciting new ways to take this show to the next level. And let's have you back on sometime, maybe in your own studio, perhaps.
Most likely.
Oh, wow. Wouldn't that be?
That would be kind of cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It sure would. Hey, you're
Yeah, we'll
listening
re-up.
to Fort Walton Beach, What We're Doing, your daily dose of local news, community engagement, and studio interviews with local movers and shakers. And we're going to move right on into the next Miracle Strip Body Shop afternoon interview segment of the day with Miss Lasheeda Perry, the queen of flavor herself. She is a contestant on the Food Network's Ultimate Baking Championship. And we're going to go ahead and see if she's out in the studio. And RJ, thanks once again, my friend. You have a good one. Ladies and gentlemen, stick around. We'll be right back.
With Omni Broadcasting News, brought to you by McCaskill and Company, I'm Frankie Bennett. The Walton County Sheriff's Office is continuing to investigate an incident at Walton Middle School that occurred this morning before start of the school day. At 7:22 a.m., the Walton County Sheriff's Office responded to reports of a stabbing at Walton Middle School in Defuniak Springs. Walton County Sheriff's Office had a school resource deputy on campus, and additional patrol deputies responded, as well as officers from the Defuniak Springs Police Department. By 7:30 a.m., a suspect, a Walton Middle School student, was detained a block from the school. 2 students and 1 adult were transported with injuries. Due to the safety of both students and staff, all classes for the day have been canceled. This investigation is ongoing, and we will provide more information as it becomes available. With Omni Broadcasting News, brought to you by McCaskill and Company, I'm Frankie Bennett.
Hey, Emerald Coast, are you ready to rock? Cruise on over to Stripes Pub and Grill in Navarre and register for your chance to win tickets to see Styx and Foghat live in Biloxi this April. That's right, 2 legendary rock bands, one epic night, and you could be there. Stop by Stripes, grab an ice cold drink, enjoy some great food, and drop your name in to win. It's just that easy. Don't miss your shot at sailing away with Styx and rocking all night with Foghat. Good luck from Stripes Pub and Grill in Navarre and the classic rock station 100.3 K-Rock. Rev it up for a great cause. Join the Arc of the Emerald Coast 2026 Poker Run on Saturday, March 28th with the Niceville American Legion Post and 100.3 K-Rock. Ride or drive, motorcycles and cars are welcome. It's just $15 per rider, 10 per passenger to enter. Kickstands up at 10:30 a.m. and all bikes are back by 4 p.m. Win dozens of awesome prizes, including a 2005 Honda Shadow 750 chopper. Be there March 28th. Sponsored by Florida Power and Light and Eglin Federal Credit Union.
Small businesses are the heart of America. Like you, these entrepreneurs started out with a dream and a drive to build a better life. If you have a small business idea to grow or challenge to face, you don't have to go it alone. Since 1964, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses. Today, they are the nation's largest nonprofit source of expert mentoring, resources, and education. Whether you're starting out, building back, or have worked at it for years, SCORE will match you with specialized mentors. Our thousands of volunteers provide the guidance and connections you need. For free. Your success is waiting. SCORE is ready to help. Find a mentor today at score.org.
And welcome back to Fort Walton Beach. What we're doing, look at that. I was in deep conversation. With my guests and completely missed my little break there. So sorry for the dead air, but I'm sorry. Our next guest is just so freaking
Full of
entertaining. Yeah. It's the first time I had met her in person. And of course I had to say goodbye to my previous guest, Mr. RJ Murdock of Emerald Coast TV. But wow, that was the fastest 5 minutes. And I'm sure these next segments are just going to fly by too. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fort Walton Beach. We're doing your daily dose of local news, community engagement, in-studio interviews with local movers and shakers. And we have one of them inside the studio right now, the queen of flavor, Miss Lasheeda Perry. Welcome into the studio.
Hello. Thanks for having me, Gareth.
Thank you for remembering the TH. I don't know why people assume it's something other than what it's not. There are no silent letters. The phonics all work. And like over the radio and the phone, you really have to over-enunciate. It's like Gareth. It's like you're adding a third syllable just to get that TH sound in there. By the way, I've pronounced your name correctly, have I not?
Queen of Flavor, yes.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, you mean my real name.
Sorry for real naming you like that. So you actually know our co-host, because as soon as we walked in, there was an instant jump up and hug. So what's the history here?
Did we meet at the chamber? Was that the first time? Or did you come to the shop or Ashley?
I think it was the chamber.
It was a whole bunch of things at once.
I think it was the chamber initially.
Yeah. Yes, it was the chamber because I met your husband first because he knocked over my drink.
Oh, yeah, go figure. Right?
Yeah, but he offered to buy me another one, but I'm like, technically you're not buying it. It's a coin. It's a chip.
That's true.
But it was
a
one
drink
of his.
ticket.
Yeah, and I just thought that was so nice. And then he's like, you have to meet my wife. You have to meet my wife.
Oh, because you were baking. That's right. It was actually at a beach weekend on the marina, I think, business after hours. And then we did your ribbon cutting.
Yes. So that was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And you've come to the shop a couple times, so thank you for that.
Yeah. Well, we can talk about her shop.
Speaking of the shop, oh my dear Lord. You happen to be a proprietor in the Choctaw Plaza Shopping Center, which is right across the street from Choctawhatchee High School on Racetrack Road. And last month, there was an unfortunate fire that I guess began at Rena Center. Is that correct? We still don't know for sure.
Until the fire marshal report comes out, we probably should say allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Supposedly.
Thank you for covering my ass, by the way.
The other A word.
Yeah. No, I think we're allowed to say
You're not supposed to say.
Yeah, as long as they're well placed and spaced out.
Used correctly.
It gives you street cred for some folks. That's how I used to rock with my old students. I'm also no longer employed by the county.
Exactly.
That's not why, though. I'm rehireable, by the way. I'm rehireable. Anyway, let's not make this about me. But your business was affected, along with Secura Express over at the Choctaw Plaza, due to a fire a few weeks ago. How is business?
It's been a month, actually.
Oh, my God.
Monday made 4 weeks, believe it or not. And you know I'm counting.
Yeah,
it happened February 23rd. So we're a month in, and unfortunately, it is a bad situation, but no one was hurt. So I'm always trying to look at the brighter side. But there's definitely a lot going on with that. A lot of it is out of my control. That's why I really can't speak on it, because I don't own that plaza.
No.
I don't sell that many cookies or cakes or pies or anything to own that plaza. So as a renting it, that my hands are kind of crossed because there's so many other businesses impacted as well. And all I can say is that smoke and water damage can do a lot.
So tell us a little bit about that business model. You mentioned, selling cookies and brownies and stuff, but where does it start and end, and how are you adjusting post-fire?
Yeah, well, it's actually a dessert tasting room. I'm just saying cookies, pies, because everyone can relate to that. But we were more of a dessert tasting room where you can come in, event-driven, as I like to call it. So people would come in and taste with us. It could be cheesecake. It could be boozy desserts. Or we would host workshops workshops where it was more hands-on for the guests, whether that was cookie decorating, cake, cupcakes, baking pies. But we also had our normal custom pickup orders as well. We did a lot of off-sites, and it wasn't until this fire incident where I realized how busy we really were.
Yeah.
When you have to call people and be like, yeah, you know that tasting we have? That's not happening.
Yeah.
Remember that cake you ordered? That's not,
Not
happening.
happening.
Eggland, I can't come on base this week. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
It was a good thing, but it was like sad at the same time because from a business standpoint, I'm like, wow, I'm missing out on a lot of business.
That is
A
unfortunate.
lot.
But I will say this, just in the, how long have I known you for? In the 13 minutes I've known you, your disposition is such that if I placed my order with you after having interacted with you for a short time, I would completely understand the circumstances, and I hope that the public has responded in kind as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you're going to have that one sour apple, but for the most part, I have the most amazing clients ever, to the point where they're so cute. They're like, you can come to my house and bake. And I'm
Aw.
like, you want me to bake 500 cookies out of your house? 500 cakes?
Out of
But-
your residential oven?
Yes. Well, that just tells
Yeah.
you that they just really care.
Yeah.
And not just my clients, but my peers reached out on
Aw.
a very overwhelmingly base. Like people I didn't even know knew of Queen of Flavor who
Wow.
have businesses that are open, open Monday through Friday or whatever the case. Like, hey, you can come use my kitchen. What can I
Wow.
do? And I just can't thank them enough for that.
Do you have any expected date of return? No.
No.
Waiting on
TBD.
you, Fire Marshal.
Well, we're not going to just blame him. It's just, like I said, it's a lot
them
of moving
probably is,
parts.
yeah, it's insurance,
claims,
yeah.
how that
Ordering
goes.
equipment. I mean, oh yeah.
Hiring, because the repairs need to be made for sure.
Yeah.
Although the
Wow.
fire did not start in my unit, like I said, it was a lot of smoke.
Water and smoke.
Got into
yeah.
it, and smoke lingers and it coats things.
Yeah, and
yes.
you know, Cheers is kind of dealing with the same thing.
Yes.
I've noticed that whole plaza, there's, like you're saying, I'm sure it's smoke and water, and the whole plaza has been affected. So even though, the fire starts in one area,
It travels.
Mhm.
It travels.
Yeah.
But like I said, no one was hurt, and I'm just looking forward to coming out strong from this,
Yeah.
and I can't wait to welcome everyone back.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, just gradually picking up projects here and there, trying to get back into the community, because the first week you're just like, I guess the first week I was just like, this is not really happening. It'll be fixed in a couple of days.
in a couple days.
Let me, it was sad canceling on people. There was a birthday cake for her daughter, and I was just like, oh, she only turns 3 once. And, you're like,
yeah.
But
There's nothing you can do, but you're still those heartstrings.
right. And then you have to be realistic. Like, yes, they might understand, but then they're like, well, I'm not going back either.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you have to look at it from both sides. But week 2, that's when the panic sets in, because I'm like, oh, we're
still
2
have
weeks
bills,
in
what?
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I still have more orders coming.
Yeah.
I can't cancel out now. It's March, but I still have orders coming in April. What am I to do
Wow,
with
yeah.
that? So it's a lot of sit and wait. But week 2.5, I found out that a mentor was in Sarasota, and I've never been to Sarasota, Florida. So I got in my car and drove 7 hours, and I
Awesome.
met him. He turned 88 when I got
Wow.
there. He's known me since I was 15, and it was just that kind of stillness I needed, where I just had to get away for a little bit and just regroup.
Which I feel like is sometimes very much needed. Everything was like on pause for you. There was absolutely nothing you could do. And that's really hard sometimes to do nothing. And especially when you're used to going so fast. Yeah.
Yes.
Because, you're on TV and you do,
Well, we haven't even
workshops
talked about that.
and
Because you know what the irony is that Jared Williams from Get the Coast posted his article about your big news prior to the fire, and then the next day the fire happened right after that article. So I'm going to read the synopsis of pre-fire, and then we'll talk about what the big news was before the fire happened.
Okay.
Fort Walton Beach pastry. And this is, by the way, this is the Panhandle Local News brought to you by Jimmy's Guns and Safes. Jimmy's Guns and Safes, big selection, bigger peace of mind. A Fort Walton Beach pastry chef is taking her talents to national television. Lasheeda Perry, owner of Queen of Flavor, is competing on Food Network's new series, The Ultimate Baking Championship, going head-to-head with 15 of the nation's top pastry chefs. The competition tests elite baking skills from chocolate work on intricate pastry techniques with a $50,000 grand prize on the line. And for Perry, representing Fort Walton Beach on a national stage is especially meaningful as her local dessert business continues to grow and gain community support. And then the fire happened the next day.
Dun, 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 and the violin comes out.
So we've got about a minute and 17 seconds left in this segment. So we'll get into the meat and I shouldn't use meat and potatoes. We'll get into the chocolate and icing of
There you go. Yeah.
of the details of that in the next segment. But with this last minute left, you've mentioned cookies and cakes. So I'm just curious, was there one specific item that got people saying, you know what, you should turn this into something? And is there one item that is your personal favorite that if someone were to come in and say, what do you recommend? What is it that you would recommend?
That's a really good question. Wow, I got 40 seconds. Oh no, the pressure's on. I've been doing this for so long, so it wasn't a particular item that I realized I should open a brick and mortar. It was just a progression next in my career. I've done hotels, I've done restaurants, corporate dining, television. I've done it all. So why not have a place where I'm calling all the shots, right?
Absolutely.
So
Your own boss.
Right. But once I got here and people started trying my items, I would say the apple oatmeal cream pie will shut everybody up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the assertiveness, the eye contact with that.
Oatmeal cream pie.
I like it. I like it. You're listening to Lasheeda Perry, the Queen of Flavor, aka the machine.
The machine.
All sorts of ideas, like Apollo Creed. So many ideas. The King of Sting. Lasheeda Perry, owner of the Queen of Flavor. My dear Lord, I'm stepping all over my words here. Hey, stick around. We got some advertisers we need to pay off, but Ms. Perry's going to stick around for a couple more segments. We'll be right back for Walton Beach, What We're Doing. Feeling run down? Need a boost? Thrive Wellness in Fort Walton Beach is your medically staffed one-stop shop for total health and wellness. From IV therapy, B12 injections, and GLP-1 weight loss treatments to peptides, hormone therapy, Botox, and hot flash relief, Thrive Wellness has you covered. Find them across from Uptown Station at 98 Eglin Parkway. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, and Saturday, 9 to 2. And our military, healthcare workers, and first responders receive 5% off most services. Learn more at thrivefwb.com. And keep thriving, y'all.
People don't realize that glaucoma is one of the leading causes of blindness.
Because there are often no early symptoms, nearly half of those with glaucoma may not even know they have it until vision loss has occurred.
I was diagnosed with normal tension glaucoma in July of 2020. And what we found out at that point was I had already lost 40% of my sight. You think it only affects people that are, 75 or older, retired, grandparents, and that's not the reality of it.
I didn't think at all glaucoma was going to affect me because I didn't know of anyone that had glaucoma, no one in my family. When you have glaucoma, you can't get back that sight that you lost. And so early detection and treatment is vitally, vitally important.
Don't miss life's most beautiful moments. Schedule an eye exam today.
National Glaucoma Research, a Bright Focus Foundation program, offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Learn how to protect your sight at stopglaucoma.org.
The National Institute on Drug Abuse presents a tale about the dangers of drugs entitled Jack and Jill. Jack and Jill went up the hill. Jack said, Jill, let's take these pills. Jill said, Jack, that sounds mad chill. So they took the pills. Then things got ill. Jill got dizzy, and so did he. They both got busy and felt so free. Never did it occur that the other may be the one infected with HIV. When you use drugs, there's no happy ending. Keep your body healthy. Don't use drugs. Check out drugabuse.gov for the real story.
Feeling run down? Need a boost? Thrive Wellness in Fort Walton Beach is your medically staffed one-stop shop for total health and wellness. From IV therapy, B12 injections, and GLP-1 weight loss treatments to peptides, hormone therapy, Botox, and hot flash relief, Thrive Wellness has you covered.
Find them across from Uptown Station at 98 Eglin Parkway. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, and Saturday, 9 to 2. And our military, healthcare workers, and first responders receive 5% off most services. Learn more at thrivefwb.com. And keep thriving, y'all.
Calculating assessment. In a competition like this, every chef is swinging for the fences. This is the best lineup of bakers I have ever seen. Series premiere, the Ultimate Baking Championship, Monday at 9 on Food Network.
So, yeah, that was a little promo that I just found someone filming their TV screen. They were so excited about that. A little 13-second promo for the Ultimate Baking Championship on the Food Television Network, the Food Network. And it premiered just a couple weeks ago on March 9th. And our Miracle Ship Body Shop afternoon interview segment, guest of the day, Miss Lasheeda Perry, the queen of flavor herself, is one of 15 national top pastry chef contestants on the Ultimate Bake Championship. And before we get into the show itself, well, I guess this is part of it. Like, how is it that you did get into the show? Like, did they reach out to you? Did you send in an audition tape? How did you know about it? I have all the questions. You have all the answers, hopefully, and the floor is yours.
I think the best way to answer that question is I've been fortunate enough to have done several shows on Food Network, starting back. I know, Miss Fancy Pants over here.
Yeah, yeah, you definitely have to tell them about when you
Did
beat
not know
somebody.
that. The floor is yours, madam.
Go for it.
Well, the first time I was on Food Network was literally over a decade ago. We're talking about 2011, 2012
Wow.
on Sweet Genius. And I won.
And you won, yeah.
Okay, so tell us about what that show was about, the competition style.
Oh, I don't remember much. It was
Okay.
literally a decade ago.
Well,
It's
what was
on
the prize, at
television
least?
somewhere. It might be streaming, but it was essentially, I want to say 4 pastry chefs. Ron Ben Ezreli, he's one of the well-known pastry chefs in the country, if
Wow.
not the world. His wedding cakes
Oh.
are like on the next level. He was the host, and he would send out mystery ingredients and a theme. Like, I don't know, it was jackfruit and Eiffel Tower, and you had to make something based on that.
Wow.
And
Okay.
I won. So
Heck yeah.
that was
What was your
cool.
winning dessert? Do you remember that?
Jackfruit.
Oh,
and-
it was the jackfruit. I like jackfruit.
It was
It tastes like juicy fruit gum, right?
I'm not sure I've ever tasted it.
I've
before.
never heard of any.
Anyone describe that?
No.
Really?
It's not tropical to you?
Well, I mean, juicy fruit gum is tropical.
What flavor you chewing? The tropical juicy fruit?
I've only had it
No,
once,
okay,
I
we need-
think. I've
All right.
only had it once, I think.
Once I reopen, we're having a jackfruit tasting.
Yes, yes.
So we can put this
jackfruit
to rest.
inspired. Okay, well, oh wait, we should do one thing from like each of the show that you've been on. That would be
That's
cool.
a good one.
A signature.
I like that idea.
That's a good idea.
Now,
and
is
then, like,
jackfruit
play,
on your
play
menu?
the show.
Is
Oh,
jackfruit
yeah,
on
at
your menu
least a
now?
clip.
No, it's not. It's not. But Thai Market occasionally has jackfruit available.
Yes, they
so
do.
I
That's
can
right.
definitely run over there and get some.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so it was called Sweet Genius? you
Correct.
said?
Genius.
So I'm a
Okay.
sweet genius, yes.
And you had another show as well?
Oh,
or?
yes.
Several.
You have time?
Oh, yes. Yeah, yes, we're going another
Uh,
segment after this, please.
So I didn't get back into competing with Food Network until 2018, where that show was called Best Baker in America. And kind of the same concept as Ultimate Baking Championship. They took pastry chefs from around the country. Maybe it was 10 or 12 of us. And I made it to the finals. It was
Wow.
myself and 2 other pastry chefs.
Heck yeah.
We had one final challenge, which was cake. And I did not win, but I can definitely say I made it to the end. And that was a great experience.
What kind of cake? Do you remember? What I mean, anything.
I
'Cause they're
think it was
usually
a
unique.
chocolate cake. It was more the decorations that
Oh,
were
okay,
unique.
okay, on that.
I don't
Okay.
remember the flavor of the filling, but I definitely know it's chocolate based.
Oh, cool.
And it was delicious. It was very
Okay.
good.
And the next one?
The next one, so I'm getting the order mixed up now.
that's
I'll
okay.
just randomly
The
say
order
it.
mixed up. I love this.
After
I love it. They basically have your
2018,
resume on
It was
file.
nonstop. It was, I don't know, looking back, I don't know how I did it.
You were on the Today Show, right?
Good Morning.
Yeah.
No, I
oh,
wasn't
good,
on
no.
Good Morning America. No, that's on my list though.
The Today Show you were on.
Yes.
And
Was I?
then didn't you do something at the Macy's Day Parade or something?
No, I definitely didn't do that. No.
On a parade at all? No parade.
No.
For some reason, I thought I remember. Okay.
Maybe you think of the Super Bowl?
Oh, maybe, yeah. I think that's what I'm thinking
You were
of.
in the-
I think that's what I'm thinking of.
Some type of
Something. I'm
parade.
like something.
So the Super Bowl you were involved with too?
Oh yes.
What? You did what?
Well, it's called Taste of the NFL, and it's the Super Bowl's largest philanthropic culinary event during the Super Bowl. So to sum it up, whichever city the Super Bowl is in, I'm one of the marquee chefs that go to that city, and we put on this extravagant event where football players come out, both legends and new, cheerleaders, tons of sponsors, PepsiCo, and all the proceeds go to a nonprofit called Gin Youth, whose mission is to end student hunger by providing, nutritional food and everything. So it's great. I went this year. I was in San Francisco, and I'm looking forward to next year, hopefully.
Yeah. So the Food Network has you on speed dial, apparently.
Yes. I don't want to say that, but I want to say that, I've connected with some of the producers, the casting producers, and they kind of remember you. Like
you have a great personality, especially
you.
like a TV personality.
You think so?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And your you're so full of. You're the queen of flavor. You're just so full of flavor.
So that's how
too.
I got the name. Flavor. It was on Best Baker in America. One of the chef judges. She didn't really like my presentation, but she said, "You're always bringing the flavor. I'm calling you." Flavor. So I coined it, trademarked it, and
I love it.
That's awesome.
You can't give yourself the own nickname. Someone else gave it to you, so that is legit.
Yeah, that's a legit nickname. And then I know you beat Bobby Flay.
Correct.
So that's what. Anytime I tell anybody about you, I'm like, she beat Bobby Flay.
That's all you need
that's
to
all
know.
you need to know.
And it was on that one, the show that gave you the Queen of Flavor nickname.
Completely different show. It's called Beat Bobby Flay.
Yeah.
Okay, you're blowing
and I
my
did
mind
Alex versus America, so I've competed against two Iron Chefs, Bobby and Alex.
Did you beat Alex?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was just her and I standing, but they liked her dessert better.
Oh, what did you bake to beat Bobby Flay? I don't remember.
Lemon meringue pie.
Lemon meringue pie.
Okay.
Is that a staple in your in Queen of Flavor in the show?
I change the menu every week.
So see, we need a lemon meringue. We need jackfruit.
Ube
I want
cheesecake.
ube just because I love
She
ube.
loves
Key lime pie. Do you have a key lime pie?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can't be in Florida and not make key lime pie.
That's true.
Man,
Yeah.
That is the correct answer.
Is that what your favorite dessert is?
Ironically, yes.
Yeah, you're such a
is.
Floridian.
Yep. I also
Standard Floridian.
this may offend you, but I do love a yellow Betty Crocker cake mix with
the
chocolate
chocolate
icing.
hard shell icing.
That is my death row dessert. Unless I sample
Your
something
last
of you,
meal.
I'm willing to be to change that by sampling some of your
By trying that
delicacies.
apple oatmeal cream pie.
or maybe your key lime. I mean, if that's what you recommend, yes. I mean, are we talking like?
You'll
does
want
it,
it all.
Does it
Just-
resemble like a Little Debbie oatmeal cream pie,
It's
but
inspired
just
by a Little
turned
Debbie.
up to 11 with the
No,
Yeah.
it's very standard as far as the presentation of it. It's just filled with a yummy apple filling. We dice the apples, toss them in spices. It has a nice buttercream, and I think it's nostalgic. But like the flavor is the flavor is what has that oomph, not necessarily the way it looks. It looks like a Little Debbie, but better.
Yeah.
But that filling, people love it.
Ooh. Well, you've convinced me to try it for sure.
Oh, you've never
No.
Oh yeah, I'm hooked on a filling.
I feel like I've had everything else. Maybe definitely all the cheesecakes. I feel like that you do, but cheesecake's my favorite, so I'll try them all. You know. Did you
Cheesecake's
have
never been my
employees
thing.
that helped you bake?
Yes, I did. Yes.
I feel like I need that job.
Well, I
I
got
might
a
be
job for you
fired.
now.
I might be fired,
You do
but
so many things already. How's the
but I
beekeeping
love to.
season?
We're in prime time. Yeah, right now.
Incorporate local
Yes.
into
Honey
Oh,
cheesecake. Whitney's honey cheesecake.
See, I could learn a lot
Making
of stuff from you. And then
connections
next
here.
thing you know, we're gonna be on the Food Network together. And be like, I learned everything from Lasheeda. But we'll be kicked off because
But
I
you
probably
do bake though, right?
Oh yeah, but nothing like that. I bake, but yeah. I
love
kindergarten bake in comparison to
I can read a good recipe with
Professor.
a mix and put it all together, but from scratch, I've tried it.
Yeah,
it's
but
not,
no, Gareth,
no.
baking is different. Baking, you're measuring grams, you're specific, way more specific than like, oh, this calls for 1 clove of garlic, just add 3.
Right.
You
right.
can't do that with baking.
No cloves of garlic in the
Yeah.
apple oatmeal cream pies, right?
Not this one.
Okay.
But I do have a
Thank
good story
goodness.
about garlic ice cream.
Okay, let's go. We got 2 minutes left
ooh.
in this segment.
Is it good? I love garlic.
Well, people watching this that attended that tasting, it was my anniversary tasting, I think, and I had a chocolate chip cookie shot cup. So it was a cookie shaped like a shot glass. And then I filled it with ice cream, but I didn't tell them the flavor. I passed it out. They're licking away, scooping. this is delicious, queen. Oh, this is good. And I was like,
Until-
oh, can you guess the flavor? And a couple people said onion, some said brown butter, and then this one guy, he said Scandinavian garlic. And I was like,
So
what?
specific.
I was like, why Scandinavian? But okay. I was like, but it is garlic. And then like half of the room couldn't eat it anymore. Nope.
So tell me, how did you make garlic ice cream? Did you roast the garlic first?
So there's a company, I can't think of their name right now, but they sent me some samples of black garlic paste. So yeah, that's
That
how I
black
used that.
garlic
I
paste.
replaced it for the vanilla in the recipe. I let it steep a little longer to get that
bring
flavor.
out the flavor.
But
Oh, wow.
it was black garlic ice cream.
And it went well with sweets, I guess, because it's
Oh,
probably
it
a little
does.
salty.
Oh yeah, it gives you that umami type of vibe.
Mhm.
So it's salty, like you said, a little earthy. I probably put a little too much or let it steep a little too much, but I was thinking they would eat it with the cookie.
Oh, yeah, not alone,
not just
by
the
the
ice
spoon.
cream,
Mhm.
because the chocolate chip cookie would mask some of that. But in hindsight, I could have reserved a little of it, but I would still do it again because they enjoyed it until I
Yeah.
told them what it was. It was more of a psychological
Oh yeah.
thing.
See, add it to the list of the stuff we're doing
Okay.
on our test. She's gonna have the first event she has back. It's
I
gonna be
love it.
what? A taste of Queen of Flavor. I don't know.
We'll come up with a cool name.
Yeah.
You were listening to Gareth Stearns and Whitney Brooks Cramer and the Queen of Flavor herself, Miss Lasheeda Perry, current contestant on the Food Network's Ultimate Baking Championship, which we haven't even gotten into yet. I haven't even gotten about your origin story. Thankfully, she's going to stick around for one more segment to fill us all in. If you want to be a part of it, 850-374-3468. Fort Walton Beach, what we're doing is stepping aside, but we got one more hour ahead of us. Don't y'all go nowhere.
From the Magnolia Grill Studios, this is 94.3 FTW, WTKE HD3, W232CF, Fort Walton Beach's News Talk.
With Omni Broadcasting News, brought to you by McCaskill & Company, I'm Frankie Bennett. The Walton County Sheriff's Office is continuing to investigate an incident at Walton Middle School that occurred this morning before start of the school day. At 7:22 a.m., the Walton County Sheriff's Office responded to reports of a stabbing at Walton Middle School in Defuniak Springs. Walton County Sheriff's Office had a school resource deputy on campus, and additional patrol deputies responded, as well as officers from the Defuniak Springs Police Department. By 7:30 a.m., a suspect, a Walton Middle School student, was detained a block from the school. 2 students and 1 adult were transported with injuries. Due to the safety of both students and staff, all classes for the day have been canceled. This investigation is ongoing, and we will provide more information as it becomes available. With Omni Broadcasting News, brought to you by McCaskill & Company, I'm Frankie Bennett.
Welcome to Coastal Auto Express, your local family-owned auto repair shop committed to quality workmanship and exceptional customer care. We focus on honest communication, personalized service, and dependable results. From paint and bodywork to full mechanical repairs, our experienced team is dedicated to keeping your vehicle running safely and smoothly. Every repair is backed by a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty. We are honored to support our troops with a 15% military discount. Coastal Auto Express. Service you can trust.
At Okaloosa Gas, we are offering an $800 rebate when you switch your electric heat pump or propane furnace to natural gas. It'll keep you warmer and will cost much less than electric or propane. Or if you want to upgrade your current natural gas furnace to a newer, more efficient model, you'll receive a $400 cash rebate. You know, it just might snow again. So stay warm and cozy this winter the natural gas way. Learn more at OkaloosaGas.com.
Today on Hey Culligan, the best things in life are free. Water tests. Let's go to Candace.
Hey, Culligan, how do I learn more about my water?
Candace, let me just test the waters here.
Okay.
Literally test your water.
Oh.
For free.
Free?
Free, Candace. In-home water tests for free. So you know more about your water and how to make it better with Culligan water. And Candace,
Yeah?
we're already on the way.
Oh, good.
Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Florida weather allows you to ride your motorcycle year-round, but year-round riding allows chances for accidents and severe injuries. I'm Mike McGrail of Wesley McGrail and Wesley, and if you know someone who has been injured while riding a motorcycle at the fault of another motorist, then our team at Wesley McGrail and Wesley can help get the compensation you deserve. At Wesley McGrail and Wesley, you can be assured that we're big enough to be heard, yet small enough to listen. Start your journey to justice by calling 244-0999. That's 244-0999, or visit wesley-law.com.
The National Institute on Drug Abuse presents a tale about the dangers of drugs entitled Jack and Jill. Jack and Jill went up the hill. Jack said, Jill, let's take these pills. Jill said, Jack, that sounds mad chill. So they took the pills. Then things got ill. Jill got dizzy, and so did he. They both got busy and felt so free. Never did it occur that the other may be the one infected with HIV. When you use drugs, there's no happy ending. Keep your body healthy. Don't use drugs. Check out drugabuse.gov for the real story.
Professional sound, Fort Walton, Fort Walton. Oh, that's my hometown. Fort Walton, Fort Walton.
That's my hometown. Always got to get that in there. You're listening to Gareth, Stearns, and Whitney Brooks Cramer on Fort Walton Beach, What We're Doing, your daily dose of local news, community engagement, in-studio interviews with local movers and shakers. And we continue to have one such local mover and shaker in studio here with us. Continuing our Miracle Strip Body Shop afternoon interview segment of the day, I would like to welcome back into, you never left, but thank you for sticking around, the Queen of Flavor, Miss Lasheeda Perry herself. Contestant on the Food Network's Ultimate Baking Championship, and apparently a veteran of the Food Network, done 3 or 4 other shows back in the past. They have this woman on speed dial, and for good reason, based on everything that I've learned about your culinary abilities here. Can you tell me about how this show happened? When did they reach out to you? Was it an instant yes? Is it something you had to consider? And your experience so far, the floor is yours.
Yes, one of the casting producers from a previous show, he remembered me and said, hey, I have this great opportunity, and I have Queen of Flavor now, so me saying yes is not immediately, not that it ever really was, because before I was probably with 4 Seasons, but now it's like, whoa, I really have to check my calendar. I have to see, and unfortunately this time I did have a couple orders that I just could not back out of. At least I thought I couldn't, but I went to the customer and sharing as much as I could without sharing as much as I could. And she was like, I know your work and I know what you stand for. So if you're wanting to do this, you have my support.
Oh, yeah, that's
so great. I had to back out of that and flew to Cali, and yeah, we filmed.
Just start recording.
Just start filming. You hit the ground running.
And you're going against 15 elite pastry chefs from around the country. Yes. How intense is that competition, and what kind of challenges are viewers going to see on that show?
Very intense, and I always appreciate competitions like that because I get asked all the time, why you won't do Halloween Wars or Spring Baking Championship? And I'm like, I've watched plenty of these shows, and you're not putting me up against Miss Betty Sue, who bakes cupcakes for her church. Yeah. And then she can go back home and tell them she beat Queen of Flavor.
That's
absolutely
right.
not.
You know how it works.
So it's always great to compete against my peers who, in some way, we either went to school together. I went to Johnson & Wells in Providence, Rhode Island, or we're literally separated by 2 chefs, not even. Or we used to work at the same hotel, but not at the same time. Yeah. So the pastry world is very small. But they're all doing their thing in hotels or corporate, whatever the case. So the competition is steep.
It's like a reunion, though, when you guys get to come back together and you see everybody.
Yeah. Do you see other contestants that you've walked cross paths with in other previous shows or auditions for shows or anything?
Not this one. Not
okay.
this one.
I was thinking you would all, like there'd
Well,
be 3
actually,
to 5
one
of you.
contestant, we went to Johnson and Wells the same time, but we didn't
Know each other.
But I knew I saw her before.
Yeah.
And then we just couldn't believe like we never were like in the same class or
Right.
anything because she was baking and pastry. But
Yeah.
it is small. But for this group, I didn't know any of them directly. It wasn't until we started conversing, like, oh, I know that chef.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I used to work for
yeah,
that chef.
yeah.
Oh, I went there. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Making the connections together.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or, checking them out, be like, oh, you worked where? Okay. I've seen you work then.
Yeah, for
We're
sure.
sizing each other up in a fun way.
Yeah, what your capabilities
Yeah,
are.
because there's 50,000 reasons to do it, right?
Heck yeah.
Now, were you the nice character? Were you like what role did you play in the personality? Everyone stations like to paint people a certain way. So, were you just the bubbly, outgoing one, like the what we're getting right now, or did you have a devious side to
Oh,
you?
no, definitely not a devious side. I always make it a point, no matter if it's Bobby, if it's Sweet Genius, you're going to see Lasheeda. So normally that's me smiling. If I'm burning the caramel, it's okay. I'll just get another pot going.
Yeah.
But I'm still competitive at the same time. The goal is to win, but I'm not in there to sabotage anyone. I'm not there to cheat. I'm not there I just want to win and represent the city that I'm in and my family and friends. So
You mentioned that you had training in Johnson and Wales University, and that's in Rhode Island, right?
Correct.
Okay, so you did not grow up here, correct?
No, no.
Could you take us back, and where are you from originally, and what brought you eventually to the Fort Walton Beach area?
Yeah, absolutely. I was born outside of Philadelphia in Pennsylvania, so the city of brotherly love, the nation's first capital. But we moved to Philly when I was about 12 or 13, so Philly's home. And I graduated high school and went straight to Providence, Rhode Island, traveled, competed, and then after that, Four Seasons Hotels. I worked for them for nearly a decade, everywhere from Atlanta, Texas, Baltimore, Hawaii, California, you name it, I did
Amazing.
it. You name it, I did it. But, after doing it for 20 years, I went back on a consulting basis, and I was living in California, but I didn't have to live in California. And my twin sister was living here, and she had just gone through a divorce, and it was kind of like, why are you still there? You don't have to be there anymore. But so I just came out here in between projects to just hang out with her, but then we found out she was pregnant. So it was like, okay, well, I'm not going to leave you here with a baby.
Yeah.
So I decided to stay. She birthed a baby, and I birthed Queen of Flavor. So
And
here we are.
her baby's about to be 2, so that was quite a
She
while
is
ago.
2.
Yeah.
Terrible twos.
Oh, yeah, 2.
But she's cute, but she's terrible twos.
That's great. And to think that you have a twin out there as well. Is she just
She
as
does not
bubbly and
bake,
vivacious?
for the record. She's not a chef.
Is she a queen of anything? Queen of your
Queen of
father's
the
Queen
baby.
Mama Bear.
Yeah, queen of the baby.
Queen of the baby.
Love it. I love it.
My biggest she's my biggest cheerleader.
And you
though.
weren't kidding. They were kind of birthed at the same time. About 2 years ago, you
Yeah,
opened
oh,
Queen
yeah.
of Flavor,
A
and
month,
she gave birth.
about a month apart.
Yeah. Literally.
Lasheeda, do you see yourself expanding beyond Fort Walton Beach, or is this something that you just want to hone your skills in and dominate this area and what you do?
That's a really great question, and I've always had this philosophy that never say no. So right now, no, but I would be not being honest if I didn't entertain that option. And being that I've traveled all over the world, it wouldn't be a far reach for me to do that. But right now, Fort Walton's home, and I just want to get my shop back open.
Yeah,
and,
no kidding.
Focus on what I'm learning, because I have to step back and slow down. I'm getting old, so I want to start a family soon too. So it's more of finding a balance that will allow me to still do my thing with Queen of Flavor, still do television, because that's the ultimate goal for sure. Like definitely have my own show.
Okay, so
Queen
let's
of
talk
Flavor
about that.
show.
The queen. So I was gonna say, what would that look like?
I don't know if it'll be called that, but
Oh, well, it would be perfect if it is. But if it's
what
something
sort of
else,
show
that
would it look like? What kind of
I
format?
really
want to
do a format, because I was on that cusp of where home economics were being removed from high school.
Yeah.
And I think during the pandemic, it showed us that we need those type of life
We
skills
sure do.
in our public schools. So I would definitely want it to be more of whether it's a high school type of competition or me mentoring some students so that they can see like, hey, this industry,
This
you
is
can do a
possible,
lot.
yeah.
You just don't have to do social media.
Mhm.
You can really get out there and network and do some cool things. So
Heck
it
yeah.
would definitely be more driven towards supporting the community and supporting our future culinary leaders.
Well, you know, our previous guest, Mr. RJ Murdock, he runs Emerald Coast TV. He's got a turnkey ready studio downtown. I'm actually talking to him about partnering and broadcasting this show from there. And it's studio space. So I don't know if that's something you might want to maybe speak to me or RJ about. Because, I mean, I think that you've got the personality to do. Yeah, I know that we're just, local and regional, but if we're talking about lifting up the local community and showing them what sort of talent we have out there, that might be a good opportunity to have. No one else is doing anything like that for this area.
Oh, of course not. And you want to know something really crazy? Don't underestimate any small city. I flew to Africa last year to teach a master class.
Wow.
And one of the chefs, he's in LA. And guess where he was born?
Here in
Valparaiso.
Wow.
Right. No one talks about Val P.
No.
And he
No.
even corrected how I pronounce it and everything.
Oh,
he was like,
wow.
yeah, I went to Lewis and everything. And I was like, we're in Africa right now. And I'm talking to someone who was born in Val P.
Like 15 minutes.
Like, I get
from where
chills
I
just
am.
thinking about it because that just shows you, like, never underestimate any city, for
Connections.
sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Connections.
I'm so glad to have met you. We got about 1 minute and 20 seconds left here. I'm going to do some rapid fire questions for you.
Yeah. Oh, but yes, I would love to take you up on that offer with
Yeah, let's definitely talk
RJ
about
Murdock.
that.
That's
Yeah.
a cool
Yeah.
name.
Oh,
He
I
writes
know.
And, yeah, it's
crime
like an
killer.
author or
Yeah,
something,
yeah,
doesn't it?
like
Dun,
crime
dun,
books,
dun.
like
Yeah.
murder mysteries.
All right, Queen of Flavor. What is your favorite dessert to eat versus your favorite dessert to make?
Oh, I love to eat ice creams, and I'm not a huge fan of making artisanal breads.
Oh, yeah.
I'll make them,
Interesting.
but that won't be the highlight of anything I do for sure.
She's not a big fan of kneading the dough. Not that fun.
Ah.
I did it for like 10 minutes the other day, and I was like, yeah.
Oh well, we use a mixer though for sure.
Oh,
We're
I
not,
was doing it by hand.
Oh.
Well, you really
artisanal, I was
need to
thinking.
get one.
I do need to get one.
One ingredient you cannot live without, Queen of Flavor.
Oh, that's a tough one. There's so many. Vanilla.
Okay.
So do you like
very
normally
vanilla
scrape
answer.
the vanilla from the inside, or are you a vanilla extract or vanilla paste?
It
kinda
depends on the
girl?
project.
Okay.
But for the most,
I love vanilla paste. Have you ever eaten anything with vanilla paste?
I
in it?
have.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of it
It's-
myself.
It elevates it for sure.
We got about 30 seconds. So where can people follow you and support you right now?
follow me on Facebook at Queen of Flavor. My website is queenofflavor.com. My Instagram is THEE Queen of Flavor. And just be on the lookout as I gradually ease back into things.
Love it. The Queen of Flavor, Miss Lasheeda Perry, a local business owner and Food Network television star. Fort Walton Beach, what we're doing, we'll be right back.
Hey everybody, it's time to check in with Frank the Bank, Frank Bennett again, and Frank is now with Loan Depot.
Hey, Scholar, thanks for the intro, and happy to be here. An excited new year, new company, same great service, same great team, the Bennett team.
So Frank, now that you're with Loan Depot, what does that mean for your customers? What has changed?
So what that means, Scholars, you're still going to get the same personalized one-on-one service that you've always received from me and my team. Plus, you're going to see significantly better rates and more loan options than ever before.
Folks, whether you're a longtime client or buying your very first home, Frank is looking forward to serving customers new and old under the new Loan Depot umbrella.
That's right. So if you're thinking about buying, refinancing, or just want honest advice from someone who's been doing this for almost 4 decades, give me a call.
He's Frank Bennett, Frank the Bank, now with Loan Depot.
You can reach me at frankbennetthomeloans.com. We're still located at Miracle Strip Parkway, 850-533-6122.
Your time is valuable, so if you're going to spend an hour somewhere on Sunday, it should matter. Hi, I'm Christina, pastor at Trinity United Methodist Church. At Trinity, we are taking a fresh fresh look at who Jesus says he is and why that changes how we see ourselves. When you understand who Jesus is, strength and weakness, love and suffering, hope in the middle of it all, it begins to shape who you are and how you live. You'll leave encouraged, grounded, and reminded that your life has purpose. Join us Sundays at 9:45 or 11 a.m. at 403 Racetrack Road at the corner of Racetrack and Marwall Drive.
When your business runs on tech, you need more than just equipment. You need people. At CPC Office Technology in Fort Walton Beach, they're your neighbors, not a call center halfway around the world. From printers to IT support, they deliver fast, reliable service with a handshake and a smile. No outsourcing, no waiting, just real solutions from folks who know your name. CPC Office Technology, local, loyal, and always there when you need them. Feel the difference at cpctek.com.
After my wife died, I lost myself too. I didn't feel like doing anything or seeing anyone. Then my granddaughter called to say she misses me, and I realized I had to make a change. That's when I made the call. I got referred to a psychiatrist, and she explained depression can happen to anyone. I'm learning that getting help doesn't make me weak. It makes me stronger. Mental health care works when you make the call.
See what it can do for you at mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
It's time for This Day in Okaloosa County History. In March of 1976, the Playground Daily News reported that plans for a long-awaited Coast Guard station in Destin were officially moving forward, entering the bid phase for construction. According to Coast Guard officials, the project would soon be awarded to a contractor, with construction expected to begin that summer. The station was planned for the north side of East Pass at the entrance to Choctawhatchee Bay, placing it in a strategic location to serve both the Gulf of Mexico and the busy inland waters. The timeline called for approximately 15 months of construction, including dredging a boat basin and preparing the undeveloped site. If all went according to schedule, the facility would be completed in late 1977 with full operations expected by early 1978. At the time, Destin was rapidly growing as both a fishing hub and tourist destination, yet lacked a permanent Coast Guard presence. This new station would change that, bringing dedicated search and rescue, law enforcement, and maritime safety operations to one of the busiest boating areas on the Gulf Coast. This Day in Okaloosa County History is sponsored by Waterstone Mortgage of Fort Walton Beach. Waterstone Mortgage, local experts, big-time solutions.
And welcome back to Fort Walton Beach, What We're Doing. And I want to thank Sue Botello over at Waterstone Mortgage for sponsoring one of the most rewarding things that I do for Omni Broadcasting, and that is my daily This Day in Okaloosa County History segment, brought to you by Waterstone Mortgage Corporation of Fort Walton Beach. Waterstone Mortgage, local experts, big-time solutions. Sue is a longtime local. Her son, JJ, is also in the business, and her daughter, Ashley, is also in the business. JJ Botello and Ashley Botello, for that matter. The whole Botello clan, good friends of mine and good close friends of the show. Thank you for sponsoring me and my endeavors, Sue Botello. And on that note, I do want to go ahead and pay off a couple of my other sponsors as well, because we have not talked about this glorious weather we're having. The local weather report for Tuesday, March 24th, brought to you by Okaloosa County Commissioner Sherry Cox. Today in Fort Walton Beach, partly cloudy skies, but mostly wall-to-wall sunshine with a high of 77 degrees this afternoon, cooling down to a comfortable 65 degrees by midnight. Another perfect night to crack open those windows, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow, going to be just a bit cooler with highs reaching 73, temps bottoming out around 61 degrees, and Thursday and Friday and Saturday are all beginning to look like beautiful clones of today and tomorrow. And that's your local weather report, brought to you by Okaloosa County Commissioner Sherry Cox. Rain, wind, or sun, Commissioner Cox gets it done. Thank you for your support of our show, Miss Sherry Edward Cox, who we hope to have on as an in-studio guest on Monday. Miss Ashley Sikowski is working on that. She is my Monday co-host, and she'll actually be joining me tomorrow as co-host as well. A little bonus Ashley Sikowski time. My co-host today is Miss Whitney Brooks Cramer. And Whitney, I have not really had a chance to really catch up with you that much because we were so front-loaded with guests today. But my dear Lord, how have you been the last week? How was your weekend? Catch me up.
Pretty good. I'm trying to think what I did over the weekend. I know I worked in my yard. And then last time I was here, I went to Biloxi following. And that was a lot of fun. A little chilly.
You did, and you actually cashed in my winning ticket for the Indiana football team winning the national championship. I placed a futures bet, a $10 futures bet back in October, and it won me
Great
$110.
odds. Yeah, heck yeah. Good
Yeah.
return on your money.
100%. Now, I did also place about 6 or 7 other $10 future bets on other teams. So really, I just got my money back. But it's, it
Plus a
feels
little.
good to have $110 in my pocket. And I offered you some, and you flatly turned it down. And I still feel like I owe you and Sean a drink or something.
That's okay. We were going there anyways, but we didn't win anything. So
No?
yeah, I could have taken a little of your earnings. No, I'm just
Man.
kidding.
I should have
We
just
had a
told you
good
to roll it
time.
over into,
I don't think so. Then you really would have lost it all, I
You're
guess.
right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Sean stayed up till 4 a.m. playing blackjack, though, so he had a good night. At least he had a full night of entertainment for not such a great cost.
That's good. I wish I could have just watched him. I'm so intimidated by card games. I just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm afraid I'm going to look stupid and
That's me.
not split at the right time.
Yep.
And I don't know.
And there's some people, you get on those tables, and there's some people that are rule followers that, like Blackjack Handbook, they follow that, no matter what. And then you have other people who don't. And if you mix those tables of people, I feel like they do not like each other. So
Now,
yeah.
are you a slot person?
I'm a
Are
slot
you-
person usually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I just won't let myself spend that much. I'm not much of a gambler, so Sean can make his money last a lot longer with blackjack.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
They say that's the only game where the player has the ability to have a slight advantage if they know any sort of
know
math or number
anything.
counting, which you're not allowed to do. But I there's a certain play strategy involved where I guess there's a little bit more opportunity to.
Yeah.
to
And
win.
Sunday I did a bee rescue. Me and Sean did a honeybee rescue, and then I saw you and Jessica went to brunch on Sunday.
Oh, I did at AJ's on the Bayou. They have a great Sunday
It was a
brunch.
beautiful day Sunday.
This entire weekend and the next few days are just solid gold Chamber of Commerce brochure days.
Absolutely.
Did you get on the boat at all?
Yeah, we went on the boat. I believe it was Friday or Saturday.
And were the crowds
Mm-hmm.
indicative of a spring break celebration or anything like
I think
that?
it was bad. No, we went to Redneck Beach right there. The water was amazing. It was beautiful. It was crystal clear. I mean, it was cold. It felt like a cold plunge.
Was
but
it relatively calm water with no waves?
Yeah, it was pretty calm. It was a little windy towards the end of the day, but it was overall calm. Yeah, it wasn't bad at all.
That's a shame for local surfers because
Oh,
as
I
part of our
know.
Okaloosa County surf report for Tuesday, March 24th, Okaloosa County Pier, very poor, with wave heights around 0 to 1 foot, shin to knee high. A weak west swell and light offshore northwest winds earlier keeping conditions clean but tiny. Water temperatures are rising a little bit. They're in the mid-60s, so still manageable, but you might want to consider a light wetsuit. Looking ahead, expect continued small surf in the next 1 to 2 foot range through midweek, with a possible bump to 2 to 3 feet by Sunday into early next week. Bottom line, not very rideable for most surfers today, but a slight improvement may be on the way this weekend. And that's your Okaloosa County Surf Report, brought to you by Bud and Alley's Restaurant in Seaside. Bud and Alley's 40 years deep and still riding the same local wave. It's the second time today we've been talking about Seaside. Our first guest, RJ Murdock, was a cast member in The Truman Show, which was filmed in Seaside.
Which, if you haven't watched it, you have to watch it. It's going to mess up your whole life.
So brilliant. And I remember at the time it being the news cycle talking about, has Jim Carrey lost his step? I mean, this is no Ace Ventura. This is no The Mask. And as time has passed, people have looked upon it as, wow, he is an incredible actor.
Yeah.
And it hit the depth. I mean, it's got little bits of the Jim Carrey-isms, but there's so much emotional depth in this movie. It's just very, very powerful. And the fact that it was filmed almost all at Seaside is really cool.
So cool. Yeah, really cool. Yeah, definitely.
Robert Duvall was originally going to be the Kristoff character, and they filmed a lot of scenes with him, and then he eventually backed out and was replaced by Ed Harris at the very end. So
I did not know that.
yeah.
Well, I was driving over here today, and I rarely go on Mary Esther Cutoff. I'm diverting here, but I looked at my notes on what I did, and I drove past. I turned on Anchor Street. Do you know where that is?
Yeah, right over by the Academy Sports.
Yes. A First Watch is going right there.
I've never been to one, but I
Oh,
understand.
you're gonna love it.
That's been most people's reactions. So is this a national chain, a regional
It must
thing?
be. I don't know, actually, now that you say regional. I know Destin has one, and I'm trying to think. No, I think it's national because I feel like I was in Arizona or somewhere the first time I went, like Sedona or somewhere the first time I went. So, yeah, I think so it must be national. But, wow, Their food is amazing. I
Good.
got the chia seed yogurt, which doesn't really sound very good, but no one else can make it like them. You'll go
Okay.
home and try for 6 months to make it on your own, and then you'll say forget it.
Really?
Probably. That's what I did.
I wonder if the Queen of Flavor could pull off a good chia seed yogurt.
Ooh, I bet. But I have not heard anybody talk about First Watch over there. Not one person.
I'm glad that something is filling that space. And you know what? Their business model, because it sounds like they're only going to be open for breakfast and maybe a late lunch.
I think it's like, till 2 or something. Yeah.
Right. And that may be the most viable way to continue
Succeed
in
there.
business around here
Yeah.
and lessen your overhead.
But I do feel like that area is kind of growing back up in a weird way with Academy, and they just put that Peppers there not that long ago.
You know that Academy Sports used to be the original Walmart in this town.
I did not know that.
Yes. And it changed in the early 90s. It's been over by Sam's Club ever since then, which is when Sam's Club was built at the same time, right next to that.
How interesting.
Walmart. And they used to have a swap shop flea market in the parking lot area of where that Walmart and Lowe's and Sam's Club used to be.
Like where people set up tables? and
Yes,
tents and
weekly.
stuff?
Like I would go get old baseball cards and yeah,
Wow.
that was really fun. The Swap Shop Flea Market is what it was called, and I bet a lot of our longtime listeners and longtime locals definitely have some memories from the old flea market. So let's do a little news story here with 2 minutes left in the segment. Panhandle Local News for Tuesday, March 24th, brought to you by Jimmy's Guns and Safes. Perhaps the biggest news story that hit today was over in Walton County. Authorities investigating a stabbing at Walton Middle School Tuesday morning. Deputies responded around 7:20 a.m. and a student suspect was quickly detained off campus. Officials say 2 students and 1 adult were injured and taken for medical treatment, though the extent of those injuries has not been released. The incident happened just before classes began, prompting officials to cancel school for the day. While the investigation continues, no motive has been confirmed, but the suspect, who is a student, is in custody, and authorities say more information is expected as the investigation develops. Did you have a few more extra tidbits?
I do, yes. The new details released are that the 2 students are in critical condition and the adult paraprofessional hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries. So let's remember those 2 students who are critically injured. The student suspect is being interviewed at the sheriff's office. The students involved are all 7th graders between 12 and 13 years old. The entire attack took 45 seconds. Wow. 7th graders, 12 and 13 years old, 45 seconds. I'm sure that felt like a lifetime.
Middle school.
Yeah, it's crazy. The student suspect got dropped off at school, went into the bathroom for 2 minutes and 40 seconds, then came out masked and armed with a sharp object. He immediately attacked the first student he encountered, ran down the hallway and attacked the paraprofessional, ran down the hallway and attacked a second student, then fled the scene. So it doesn't sound targeted.
But still no motive or anything
No
like that? My
motive.
goodness. And not prayers to the affected, but the students and the individuals that witnessed this as well. This is going to be something very traumatic.
And it doesn't sound like it was targeted towards any, certain child. It sounds like the first child they ran into, they stabbed. Wow.
I haven't been paying attention to much national news today, but I'm wondering if this is the sort of story that will make the Fox News, the MS Now, the CNNs.
It wasn't even school hours. It was early drop-off. There were only 40 total students.
Oh, my Lord.
Horrible.
Well, we're going to have a little bit more lighthearted news, and we're going to be joined by Irish Bill from IB Sports in the next segment, talking about some March Madness and some local breaking news with respect to sports. For Walton Beach, what we're doing. We'll be right back.
With Omni Broadcasting News, brought to you by McCaskill & Company, I'm Frankie Bennett. The Walton County Sheriff's Office is continuing to investigate an incident at Walton Middle School that occurred this morning before start of the school day. At 7:22 a.m., the Walton County Sheriff's Office responded to reports of a stabbing at Walton Middle School in Defuniak Springs. Walton County Sheriff's Office had a school resource deputy on campus, and additional patrol deputies responded, as well as officers from the Defuniak Springs Police Police Department. By 7:30 a.m., a suspect, a Walton Middle School student, was detained a block from the school. 2 students and 1 adult were transported with injuries. Due to the safety of both students and staff, all classes for the day have been canceled. This investigation is ongoing, and we will provide more information as it becomes available. With Omni Broadcasting News brought to you by McCaskill & Company, I'm Frankie Bennett.
What does life after service look like? Kicking back? Taking it easy? We believe it looks a little different. It looks like leading for all veterans, helping shape policies to make certain they get the benefits they've earned, and ensuring every veteran's voice is heard. It looks like advancing to meet today's veterans where they are, lifting them up and strengthening the bond that unites us. It looks like serving when disaster strikes, with boots on the ground, helping our communities recover and rebuild. From the capital to our hometowns, we don't just show up when it's easy. We show up when it matters. Because a veteran's mission never truly ends, and neither does ours. The VFW, still leading, still advancing, still serving. Get involved at stillserving.org.
Small businesses are the heart of America. Like you, these entrepreneurs started out with a dream and the drive to build a better life. If you have a small business idea to grow or challenge to face, you don't have to go it alone. Since 1964, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses. Today, they are the nation's largest nonprofit source of expert mentoring, resources, and education. Whether you're starting out, building back, or have worked at it for years, SCORE will match you with specialized mentors. Our thousands of volunteers provide the guidance and connections you need for free. Your success is waiting. SCORE is ready to help. Find a mentor today at SCORE.org.
And welcome back to Fort Walton Beach. What we're doing, that is the Niceville High School fight song. And the reason I'm playing that is because there is some local breaking news with respect to that school. And I'd like to bring onto the air our local sports guru, Mr. Irish Bill of Ivy Sports. Mr. Irish Bill, can you hear me? Irish Bill? Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, hold on. What am I doing here? There.
Oh, and he hung up.
Okay, Whitney, you vamp, which means you talk for a little bit while I get him back on the phone.
Someone's going to come help you. I can definitely do that. Okay, well, I've recently found this Facebook page, which was called Fort Walton Beach Find Money. Oh, no, I didn't. I need to say it properly. It's called Find Money FWB. It's the new Facebook group.
Is he still? Okay.
And anyways, they're dropping money off everywhere. So they don't have that many followers, but they have 351 followers. But I think everyone should go follow them. Their little profile picture looks like the city of Fort Walton. Oh,
I think we have him on the phone. Okay. Irish Bill, have you joined us? Can you hear us?
I can hear you. I am here.
All right, yeah. So thank you, and by the way, thank you for Whitney for doing that.
You're welcome. We got to come back to that too.
Pro move, yeah. And I didn't even hear what you said because I was like scrambling over here. What's going on with my show? Irish Bill, you are a sports guru. I led off with the Niceville High School fight song. Can you tell me why that is relevant to today?
Well, Niceville is looking for a new head coach as Coach Morgan has been let go. So this will be the second straight year that Niceville will be looking for a search for a new head football coach.
Ooh, 1 year on the job. What an incredible opportunity he had. What a high-stress environment that he was moved into with such a program built on a tradition of winning. Do you think this was an expected move, or do you think it might have been worth it to give him another year to gain a little wisdom, where do you think this leaves the program?
Well, Richard Morgan came from Georgia, from a very successful program in Georgia, one of the winningest coaches in the state of Georgia, and but it just didn't seem like it was the right fit. I can say more, but I can't say more at this time.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Niceville did have a bit of a struggle this year in terms of where they've been throughout the years. Now they did make the playoffs, and they actually almost upset the number 1 seed on the road out in Jacksonville to continue their journey. But Choctaw had a string of 13 straight losses against them, maybe 15 straight losses, and they put a hurt in them on them this year.
Coach Morgan came in, changed the offense up a little bit. They got a very talented roster. They got off to a very slow start, as Niceville's not used to getting off to slow starts. They always have a tough schedule as well. But they got going at the end of the season, but it just wasn't enough, I guess, to keep Coach Morgan around.
School choice is a big, point of contention for some. It is what it is. Do you think this will affect recruiting, for lack of the use of a better term, in terms of the athletes exploring other options at different schools?
I think this might end up helping Niceville, because they did lose quite a few guys last year. A few transferred over to Choctaw. But I think depending on who they bring in next, they have a lot may dictate what direction they're going to go as far as retaining their own players and possibly bringing in different ones. So everybody needs to stay focused on Niceville and see who their next head coach is going to be.
And I know that this is very soon, this is very fresh news, but are there any names that are bandied about in the water cooler talk?
I've only heard a possible interim head coach. He's been there for a while. Adron Robinson's been at Niceville for quite a while. I know he handles a lot of their recruiting for those players going on to the next level. He may be brought in as an interim, but I'm only guessing.
I discovered this news through your Facebook group, IB Sports, which is an excellent site, and it's the letters IB and then the word sports. And you've been operating it for years. You are also the play-by-play guy for the Navarre Raiders high school sports teams. You do the football. You did a softball game recently. You have your thumb on the pulse of so many things sports related. Thank you so much for being my sports guru for this program. I didn't even touch on March Madness yesterday because my slate was full with guests. This is the first time, I know it's Tuesday, it's the first time I've really made me mention. How quickly was your bracket busted at the beginning of the tournament?
First day. I mean, like 2 games in, I already had a loss. And then one of my teams that I had going always no longer. Florida Gators, thank you. Very little.
Oh, that was
come on.
Yeah, that was a hard game to watch.
Not for Skylar Black,
before we get to that, I got a couple of guys that I want to thank my high school side. I get a lot of information from Andy Villamarzo. He's a reporter down in Tampa area, and Joshua Wilson that covers Florida high school football, not only football but flag football. So I get a lot of my information from those 2 guys. So I can't take all the credit. But I know a lot of people.
Yes, you do. Just not so much about filling out a bracket. But then, in fairness, no one does. It's so much more difficult. You're more than likely to win the lottery than to have like the Mega Millions than to actually pick a perfect bracket all the way through. Because no one has one.
I picked 2 brackets. I got 2 different champions. I got Duke in one and Michigan in the other. So my champions are still around, but I took some major hits in the first couple of rounds.
I also picked 2 brackets, one with my common sense choices and then one with if some craziness happens. And ironically, they are both in the 45th percentile nationally of all brackets. So it just really doesn't matter. I think there's a lot of luck involved. Up until Sunday afternoon, there were just a couple of perfect brackets left out of literally millions of brackets. And now there are no longer any perfect brackets left.
Well, my expertise, I love college basketball. I love that more than the NBA. In fact, I don't even follow NBA basketball. I love college basketball. So sometimes I can't go in and do a crazy bracket because my knowledge of the teams won't allow me to pick teams that I don't think have a chance.
Did you think High Point had a chance? Because they were, I guess, the biggest Cinderella story out of all the teams. There weren't too many upsets, but that was definitely one.
Well, that was one I wish would not have happened because that didn't make my wife very happy. Because my wife is a graduate of Wisconsin, and so I had to deal with an upset wife on that day. So, and I had Wisconsin going a couple of games deep, so that didn't cost me a whole lot, but it kind of upset the family household here.
Well, we're down to 16 teams. Gameplay will begin, I believe, on Thursday once again, and we'll have Thursday and Friday as the Sweet 16 rounds, and then we'll have Saturday and Sunday as the Elite 8. What, with the teams remaining in the bracket, what do you think is the most exciting story out there?
Well, I like the Nebraska-Iowa matchup here in the next round. Two Big Ten teams going against each other.
And
you have
big
the nine seed in the Big Ten. Iowa upsetting Florida in a dominated by Florida Gator fans down in Tampa. No one saw that one coming. I think that's going to be one of the exciting matchups. You got some really good matchups coming up. I mean, you could end up having Michigan State and Duke in the next round. I mean, you got Izzo and John Shire, the old coach against the new young buck. That could be a great matchup. I like Arizona, the way they're playing right now. I think there's going to be some great games coming up this week.
Is there a team that didn't get as far as, besides Florida? I think that's the easiest one. But is there another team that I'll tell you my team. The team that I kind of secretly have always rooted to win and to win is Kansas. And to me, it feels like they're the team that always perpetually comes up just a little bit shorter than expectations. Would you agree with me on that?
I will. I'm not a big Kansas fan. Bill Self, though, is one heck of a coach. I liked him when he came from Illinois. He's been wherever he's been an outstanding coach, and I just love his outlook on things. I mean, in his interviews on Sunday, I mean, he smiles even when his team's not playing well. I mean, he just always seems to just love being in the environment.
And he was beat by another great coach, Mr. Rick Pitino of St. John's, who just walked off the floor after the game-winning basket as if he had been before, and he has, setting up a great Sweet 16 matchup against Duke, which and their potential opponent is going to be the winner of the Michigan State-UConn game. What a difficult bracket it is for that number 1 seed Duke in that East.
Well, that was the toughest bracket after they made the selections on Sunday. You could look at that bracket, and that was going to be the toughest one by far. And I could see, like I said, I could see a Duke Michigan State game coming up. And Michigan State, they got the horses, they got the bigs, they got great card play, and they got one of the best coaches. Even though I'm not a big fan of Tom Izzo, I think he's a whiner. But then the best thing that happened on Sunday though was Kentucky taking the exit.
Yes, especially after the way that they advanced to the round of 32 with a half-court buzzer beater shot, which just broke the heart of who are they playing? Drawing a blank, but it was an incredible game. There've been a lot of incredible games. Arizona, Arkansas in the next round is going to be an incredible matchup. Arkansas has got one of the premier players in the NCAA. He's going to definitely be a lottery pick. Arizona is got a chance to win the entire thing. With 20 seconds left, who do you think is going to win?
Contract that the young Acuff from Arkansas signed it with Adidas today, one of the biggest contracts ever by a college athlete.
It's well deserved.
That kid plays great on offense. Not much of a defensive player, but he's hard to stop.
Well, music's about to hit, which means we've got 30 seconds. But give me your winner of the tournament with the 16 teams left.
I'm going with Michigan.
All right. Good choice. Thank you, Irish Bill, for joining us as always. We might check in with you a little later in the week. You are the man, my friend.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a great week.
You do the same. For Walton Beach, What We're Doing is going to return for one more segment. Don't go anywhere. We have an open phone line, 850-374-3468. We'll be right back.
Rev it up for a great cause. Join the Arc of the Emerald Coast 2026 Poker Run on Saturday, March 28th with the Niceville American Legion Post and 100.3 K-Rock. Ride or drive, motorcycles and cars are welcome. It's just $15 per rider, 10 per passenger to enter. Kickstands up at 10:30 a.m. and all bikes are back by 4 p.m. Win dozens of awesome prizes, including a 2005 Honda Shadow 750 Chopper. Be there March 28th. Sponsored by Florida Power and Light and Eglin Federal Credit Union.
You've really leveled up your pickleball game. What's your secret?
Ever since I transferred my high-interest balance to a low-rate Eglin Federal Credit Union MasterCard, I've had way less stress and way more focus on the court.
A low rate and a better backhand? I need in. Was the transfer a hassle?
It was easy and no balance transfer fee. You can apply online right now.
With MasterCard rates as low as 7.9% APR, it's time to raise your game. Eglin Federal Credit Union, where members matter most. Same-day issue MasterCard is available in branch during normal business hours, subject to membership and credit approval.
Small businesses are the heart of America. Like you, these entrepreneurs started out with a dream and a drive to build a better life. If you have a small business idea to grow or challenge to face, you don't have to go it alone. Since 1964, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses. Today, they are the nation's largest nonprofit source of expert mentoring, resources, and education. Whether you're starting out, building back, or have worked at it for years, SCORE will match you with specialized mentors. Our thousands of volunteers provide the guidance and connections you need for free. Your success is waiting. SCORE is ready to help. Find a mentor today at SCORE.org.
Shame on you, Billy Bowleg, shame on you for making Mr. Plunkett walk the plank. Shame on you, Billy Bowleg, shame on you. You didn't need to laugh so hearty as he sang.
And welcome back to Fort Walton Beach. What we're doing, we like to talk about local history, local news, upcoming events. Billy Bowleg's Festival is upcoming, a couple months away, maybe a little less than that. If they want to reach out to me as far as helping to promote, I am willing to do that. I have always wanted to do whatever I can to bring back whatever old school elements I can to that celebration, particularly the scavenger hunt, where I think I would make great clues. We could bring back the treasure map. Like that. I've got so many ideas. I've always wanted to do some sort of like Amazing Race type local scavenger hunt type thing too.
Ooh, yeah.
Whitney, you were talking about this really cool new venture that you've seen, and we were talking about it briefly in the last segment as we were trying to get Irish Bill on the phone, and we had to cut you off prematurely. So do you mind kind of starting over from where you were talking about and expounding upon that?
Yeah, it's called Find Money Fort Walton Beach, or FWB, I'm sorry. So the Facebook page is specifically Find Money FWB. They only have 350 followers, so they need more followers, because the more followers they have, the more money drops there are. So they apparently are just going around random places and dropping an envelope full of a random amount of money. And they post little teaser videos, parts of, like, you can see their sand, or I don't know, the last one they did, they post part of a pelican, it looks like. So you kind of have to know the area to know where they're being. They're not obviously blatantly posting where they are.
I love this. I've seen the Pensacola person that does this and thought it was just brilliant. I certainly don't have the finances to pull something like that off, but God bless the person that does. So yeah, what I've seen in the Pensacola guy is he films himself basically placing an envelope of cash, I don't know, underneath something or obscured in some way, and then the camera sort of pans back to just a strategically placed, not too much, but just enough if you know the area, visual.
Right.
Go.
Just a little, yeah. Just a tad.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I see one here was at Baskin Robbins. I saw somebody kind of had to go through, I don't know, like brush almost a little bit, thorns a little bit to get to it. So yeah, I think there's anyways, I actually commented quite a while ago and told him that whoever it is, it's anonymous. So I doubt they want to be their face, but they would call in and be their voice, you know?
Right.
But I tagged you and said, yeah, you should be on the radio.
Yeah, definitely want to follow. Now, you said the dollar amounts will raise as the follower count increases. Do we have any idea what the commensurate found dollar amount is for 350 followers?
I don't. So on the 8th, they posted 4 envelopes, and 3 of them had $2 bills, and 1 of them had a $100 bill.
Ooh, so this is very interesting. We've got this mystical, anonymous, Banksy type person, this benevolent game player.
Listen to this. I just read this. Most drops will be on Saturdays and Sundays, with an occasional Friday drop. Sponsored drops will be up to the sponsors for day and location. Wow, that's actually kind of cool. So it is a community. I mean, I didn't realize other people could decide to give money. So that's actually kind of cool.
That is very cool. Is it just for a good cause, or what's the end game here?
It doesn't really
what's the business
say.
plan?
I don't know.
I guess they get engagement monetization in some way, and that helps pay the
bills.
Very interested by this. Or am I the person that's doing it? I don't know. Maybe we will have the person as a guest on this show sometime.
Yeah. It says everyone that finds
It's
a
not
drop,
me, by the way.
share and tag us to get double entry into the online giveaway. They're doing an online giveaway if they have 1,000 followers. So
is this on Facebook? 1,000 followers on Facebook?
Yeah, and it's called Find Money FWB.
Are there spaces between the words find and money?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Find space money space FWB, all caps. And then it says, after finding money, take a video of you and the money drop. Not necessary to show your face. Post the video to your Facebook page. Stay tuned because we're just getting started.
I love this.
I know.
This is exciting.
Yeah,
we're going to have to do updates on this show of where it was and who found it, and get those people in here to see if they can share their stories of.
Yeah, some people know Jen Fletcher. I don't know. She's kind of popular on Facebook, but she was the first one, and I think that's the one I was telling you she had to go through, like the brush and stickers and stuff.
Oh, the sand spurs.
Yeah,
man. I hate those suckers.
Cool.
Oh, what other gas prices are still hovering? Well, at least they're less than $3.50 at most places.
Okay, but when you have a diesel truck like mine and it costs $120 to fill up, it's like a whole paycheck.
What's your range on when you have a full tank on that diesel truck, though?
I don't know. Maybe. Well, I can drive to here from Tennessee, so probably quite a ways.
Not bad. Lowest prices being reported around town, around $3.47 per gallon. Multiple stations around town. Make sure you shop around because there are a couple stations that have it marked as high as $3.69 per gallon. So every penny counts in these days.
Well, hopefully it'll be coming down soon. So we were talking about what we did over the weekend, and I did a bee rescue on Sunday, and you and Jessica went to brunch. Mm-hmm. I've never been to brunch on AJ, so I was hoping you'd tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I got the Fat Man all-in breakfast where you get because I like to go sweet, savory, salty, and go back and forth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
None of them touching. Well, the sweet stuff can't touch the salty stuff. I don't mind if the eggs touch the ham or whatever, but I don't want the syrupy
on your bacon.
No.
What? I dip bacon in syrup. That's the best.
Well, the bacon's great and the syrup is great on the side.
Not together.
You know what else I've just taken a new love for is grits. I went my entire life without ever really giving grits a chance, and went to the Grits Festival in Destin a couple weeks ago. I ate delicious grits in New Orleans when I went to the Savannah Bananas a couple weekends ago. Decided to try the grits at AJ's on the Bayou. They have bacon in them.
Yum.
And they are very, very
They're
good.
cheese
I've
grits,
been missing it out. I've been missing out my entire life on grits.
You definitely have. So I had these smoked grits one time.
Yeah?
I love cheese grits. Yeah, were the ones at AJ's cheese grits?
Yes, I don't want a sweet type of grit. I want the shrimp and grits is really what got me. I want that sort of flavor profile or
heavy.
Yes.
Yeah, I just love grits. I mean, you put a little butter and sugar on them.
It's amazing
just
to me
as
that it comes
good.
from corn. It's so delicious. It tastes nothing like corn.
Yeah,
And
I actually didn't know where grits came from.
yeah, hominy is like
Oh yeah, hominy is
yeah.
a type of grape. Oh, grape? No,
it's
corn.
it's in the corn family or maize or either way.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
amazing.
I see. Amazing.
And I live
Look
in
what you
peace
did
and
there.
hominy whenever I eat it.
Actually, I love Stubby's cheese grits around here too.
Okay, a new place for me to try. I've been to Stubby's plenty of
Yeah,
times, but not grits
their
wise.
cheese grits. Mhm.
Okay. Man, we've
Yeah.
talked so much food in this show between this conversation and with Lasheeda
Queen of
Perry, the
Flavor.
Queen of Flavor.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little hungry here.
Oh yeah, it's almost. Yeah, I agree. What are you having for supper? By
I
the
may
way?
be going back to AJ's on the Bayou because they have Tuesday night karaoke there, and I'm finally a little to the point where I feel like I could do the songs justice.
Does Jessica go with you?
Sometimes,
but she doesn't
sometimes.
sing.
No, she
No.
is the yin to
Okay.
my yang. She
Yeah.
is the introversion to my extroversion.
Yeah, we kind of talked about that. Yeah, you and Sean are a lot the extroverts, and we're just like, no, we'll just stay at home. You guys go.
Yeah, but you know what? I've adopted much more of that mindset. I'm quite enjoying being able to binge watch something with someone else and not spending money on stuff that I don't need to
Yeah.
spend money on just to experience.
Just to
this-
be out and
Yeah,
social. And,
yeah, I do
but-
also kind of miss it too, though.
Yeah,
just-
I was about to say it's just a total personality kind of thing for sure because yeah, I love to stay home too, but you have to still go out because there's those few days that you are like, oh yeah, I'm feeling social, and then you won't have any friends if you stay at home all the time like me. So yeah.
Well, you do get out. I don't think you give
Oh,
yourself enough credit.
well-
You guys travel a lot. You get on the boat. You go to the beach. You do.
It's a forced thing, though. I mean, if I had my option, I'd probably live under a rock.
Amen. Yeah, I think. Are you Jessica right now? Like that's exactly what she would say.
Yeah.
Don't forget, there's a Fort Walton Beach City Council meeting. It's the regular scheduled meeting, and it is set for tonight at 6 p.m. Agenda information for the meeting has been posted to the city's webpage. You may view the meeting live from the city's website as well as on YouTube. Unless otherwise noted, all meetings are open to the public, and they're held at 107 Miracle Strip Parkway at the City Council chambers. I imagine they're going to be talking about the municipal election results that just happened a couple of weeks ago, which still largely have not been revealed to the public. They're under lock and
Why?
key because of the lawsuit that's going
Oh,
on
yeah,
with the watch
because-
group
yeah, I see.
and whether or not people were informed correctly or if the language on the
Mhm.
ballot was evasive in some sort of way. So there's still some. It's unsettled.
But are they settling that tonight?
No, but I imagine there will be
Oh,
some
okay.
conversation about it, and maybe the public comments. The public comments are always the most interesting aspect of it. But
So the lawsuit didn't come about until I mean, this is kind of
yes,
wild.
it
Till
basically
after it was
happened
on the ballot.
The ballot was printed, and then the lawsuit. There was a judge that agreed to hear the case a couple weeks before the actual election. So it's very unprecedented what happened.
Yeah.
He said it's too late to not hold the elections. We're going to have it as they are. The ballots have been printed, but then we're going to put the results under lock and key until it gets
Wow.
further litigated and we figure out the appeals process and however forward we want to go. So one thing that definitively did get determined was there will no longer be any weird March non-traditional election times. We are going to have an election in November with the
All the other-
Congress and all the stuff. Yeah.
So I'm going to be very interested then to see how many more people, because the statistics show us that more people turn out for those November elections, but that doesn't mean that more people are going to vote.
Very true.
For these smaller
It's
elections.
still going to appear on the last page
That's
of
right.
those, but at least they're already
That's
there,
right.
and I think that's the argument. And
So I'm hoping that we will see that too, instead of a 4% deciding these local elections. Maybe it'll at least be closer to 50.
Absolutely. Of course, the argument from the other side was, well, those are that 4% were the ones that really are engaged, and those are the ones whose opinion truly matters the most. And
Well, they're
either-
probably the most engaged, but I don't know that their opinion matters the most. But
Either way, it doesn't matter anymore
Yeah.
because the election's going to happen in November. The other initiatives still up in the air, but they might get talked about tonight at the Fort Walton Beach City Council meeting that begins at 6 o'clock. Whitney Brooks Cramer, thank you as always for being my
Thanks for
Tuesday
having me.
co-host. You're
Always.
welcome back whenever you want, and I really appreciate it. For Whitney Brooks Cramer and Gareth Stearns, I'd like to thank our guests today, RJ Murdock from Emerald Coast TV, Miss Lasheeda Perry, the Queen of Flavor, and of course Irish Bill, our sports guru from IB Sports. Same time, same place, same channel tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great evening.
From the Magnolia Grill Studios, this is 94.3 FTW, WTKE HD3, W232CF, Fort Walton Beach's News Talk.
Once again for tuning in. Hey, listen, I can't say it enough. I appreciate everyone's eyeballs and the sharing of the show. Subscribe, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just hit that subscribe button. As soon as I hit 1,000 subscribers, the show is going to be able to do a lot more things with editing and visual features that are going to take it up to the next level. Whitney, you rock. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Everyone have a great evening. See you tomorrow.